is A. Before we begin, we call the students to acknowledge that the lands of the University of California locations were built upon, were expropriated, and founded upon exclusions and erasures of Indigenous peoples' human rights throughout California. Uh, UCSB is built upon Chumash land, specifically that of the non-federally recognized Barbareno tribe. As an association that pushes the student body's voices to the forefront, we should aim to make strides past just acknowledgments to those who continue to fight for their right to be recognized and respected as the original stewards of this land. Ask y'all to dedicate time and care and personal education and advocate for the justice alongside Indigenous peoples. We now move into item A1, roll call. Senator Chaudhry. Right. Senator Claro, saw
Present.
you. Senator Gutierrez.
Present.
Senator Harder. Senator Hepburn. Senator Zhang.
Present.
Senator Jones. Got you. Senator Lucan.
Yep.
Got you. Senator Lee. Present. Senator Manala.
Present.
Good to see you. Senator Manikova.
Present.
You. Senator Malhis.
Present.
You. Senator Ola Olatan. Senator Ono.
Present.
Senator Pasher.
Present.
You. Senator Reese. Senator Shurkin.
Present.
I'm here. Senator Zandor, please remind me to say your name in the correct way. Senator Rajan?
It's Senator Sundararajan.
Senator Rajan. Here. Senator Than.
Here.
Senator Toledo. And Senator Wang.
Present.
And Senator Wahitala.
Here.
Wonderful. All right, good to see all of you guys. Any excused absences? If not, oh, go ahead.
Yes.
Finish it.
Wait, I actually cannot find where to raise my hand. Sorry.
You're recognized. It's okay.
Yeah, motion to excuse Senator Marquez at 7:30 until the rest of the meeting.
There has been a motion to excuse Senator Malhis at 7:30 until the end of the meeting. Is there a second? Senator Ono, you're recognized.
Second.
There has been a second on the motion to excuse Senator Malhis at 7:30 p.m. We are now in discussion. Senator Wahidullah.
Call the question.
The question has been called. We are now in discussion. Seeing none, the motion passes. Okay, sorry, we are awesome. My computer lagged. I apologize. We are now in acceptance of proxies. Are there any proxies present?
Can I call a motion for the excuse of Senator Shurkin?
Oh, sure thing. Thank you, Senator Ono. We're now moving back into A2, excuse proxies. The excusal of Senator Shurkin. Is there a time, Senator Ono?
Oh yeah, it's going to be from 8 p.m.
There is a motion to excuse Senator Shurkin at 8 p.m. until the end of the Senate meeting. Is there a second, Senator Jones?
Second.
There is a second. We are now in we're now in discussion. Senator Fan.
Call the question.
The question has been called. Sorry, we are now in discussion. My apologies. Is there? Yes, Senator Wheeler.
Consent.
Consent. Thank you. Is there any objection to that consent? Being none, motion passes. Are there any further? Yes, Senator Lucan.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
For senators who are abroad, can we excuse them for the duration of the meeting?
Not unless they've contacted us beforehand.
If they contacted me beforehand?
They should have contacted Senate leadership.
I mean, is that
You can
how it
make
works?
you can make an motion. You can make a motion to excuse those senators, though.
Okay, yeah, a motion to excuse Senator Harder for the duration of the meeting.
There's been a motion to excuse Senator Harder for the duration of the meeting. Is there a second?
It's my hand. I'm trying.
Senator Jones.
Second?
You. The motion to excuse Senator Harder for the duration of the meeting has been moved and seconded. Is there any? If we are now in discussion. Senator Wheeler.
Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there any yes, Senator Jones.
I meant to lower my hand, but consent.
Consent. Is there any objection to the consent? Being none, motion passes. Are there any further excused? Yes, Senator Lucan.
Motion to excuse Senator Hepburn for the duration of the meeting.
There's been a motion to excuse Senator Hepburn for the duration of the meeting. Is there a second? Senator Wahidullah.
Second.
The motion to excuse Senator Hepburn for the duration of the meeting has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question? Yes, Senator Fan.
Call the question?
Question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
In consent, is there any objections to consent? Being none, motion passes. Are there any further excused absences? Being not, yes, Senator Lucan.
Motion to excuse Senator Riss for the duration of the meeting.
There's been a motion to excuse Senator Riss for the duration of the meeting. Is there a second? Senator Ona.
Second.
The motion to excuse Senator Riss for the duration of the meeting has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Wahidullah.
Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
In consent, is there any objections to the consent? Being none, motion passes. Are there any further excused absences? Going once, twice. Okay, we are now in the acceptance of proxies. Are there any proxies present for senators here? All right, seeing none, we are now in item B, external reports. Is there a representative for the chancellor's representative? Being none, UCPD representative. Is there a comment? Oh, that's the AI assistant. My apologies. GSA representative. University Center Governance Board representative. And IVCSD representative. Being none, we are now in new business. We have on the new business a bill to establish the First Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program, or PMAP, by Senator Wahidullah and Ola Oletan. We are now in discussion. Or the author you're more than free to speak on the bill.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Yes,
I'll make
Senator
it
Wahidullah.
Thank you. I'll try to make it brief and stuff. Unfortunately, Senator Ola Oletan isn't here to speak today and stuff, but I wanted to kind of just provide a brief overview, particularly what this bill and advocacy program provides and stuff, just to give some little bit more context regarding this. Overall, it will become a student-led peer mentorship program that is housed under SCORE after having discussions with them. It is completely volunteer-led and fiscally neutral with no financial impacts. And to also provide some initial context about this particular program as well, is that from my own personal experiences from my first year and my transitional period into UCSB, it was very difficult for me, as well as a lot of my colleagues and friends who were unable to find a guideline and resources to more easily and more accessible for us on campus and stuff. And although there are many resources and things and opportunities for students to use, unfortunately, there's a lack or necessity of accommodations for first-generation students as well as people of color and BIPOC communities to have someone as a mentor there to guide them to find these existing resources. And although there is some existing ones in institutionally wise, like for example, you can find SRB or you can find EOP mentors, I wanted to create something that AS itself can provide that's uninstitutionalized and completely volunteer and student-led, which will not only help be fiscally neutral, but also provide us to promote existing programs that are already available in UCSB. And not just only from UCSB resources, but by creating a student-led advocacy program from AS, we can help promote existing utilities from associated students as well. This can help also provide just more designing to train mentees to help guide them towards AS resources that are currently not used or underutilized, and train them to use these and support associated students, while also having a mutualistic compact to supporting first generation students and BIPOC students to get to use AS more and know that we are there to support them. And this is a great first initiative to have this volunteer-led program, House Underscore, to kind of guide them in resources and have someone there informally to help support them and guide them in these processes, and even educate them more better what Associated Students is, and even guide them to be encouraged to even run for office more or be more promoting the stepwise initiation for more advocacy of Associated Students leaders. But overall, it promotes not only UCSB support services, but it also introduces students directly to Associated Students resources and more involvement opportunities and stuff, because we have so many BCUs and everything. And what I think is extremely great about this initiative is that overall, it is a low-cost model I tried to create it as that relies mostly on recognition for mentors and volunteer-led recognition rather than, stipends and fiscal impacts, which a little makes it better for integration and more just of the protocols happening with our pilot program in the fall. But what's also great about this too, by not only uplifting existing BCUs, internal entities, we can also use this BIPOC and first generation advocacy program to help utilize a lot of our existing committees as well, by helping to promote the outreach committee on uplifting this program, or the advocacy committee to promote basic need resources that are brought upon by Associated Students to these people, and just overall maximize visibility better. And this is a great first step towards that for these connections to more students on campus. And SCORE quarterly regarding our pilot program will help to provide annual reports, and with the Senate reviewing for continuation or expansion after the pilot program. But overall, I really wanted to create this idea because for me, it was very difficult as a first year to find the existing financial support, emotional support, and things that I feel like that could have helped me better in my first year. And a lot of people have kind of continued to share with me the same moments. And I think having that peer mentor system that is found in Associated Students from SCORE would be a great initiative and help to kind of support people on things and programs that I feel like would be helping to more people that I wish I had as well. But I hope that can provide some context, and I'm free and open for any questions. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wahidullah. I've been put to notice that there are people here for public forum, so my apologies to those here. I'm going to put a pin in this bill. We're going to move into public forum, and then we'll come back into discussion for your bill, and we'll make a motion there if that is all right with the author.
It's all right.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, we now move into item D, public forum. Are there any speakers here for public forum?
Yes. Hi, I'm Michaela Barkhausen. I'm here for Gaucho Catholic. We're an RCO on campus.
Okay, Michaela, I'm going to go ahead and read the speaking agreements. And I'll get you on the screen. All right, so this is for all for those of you here who are here for public forum. You have 3 minutes to speak with 3 minutes for Q&A. Please state your name, pronouns, and enunciate, but refrain from yelling. Speculation of a senator's intentions is prohibited and may result in you being removed from the ability to speak on the floor. Please know this meeting is being recorded. You may speak on any issue, whether it is on the agenda or not. Please include a content warning if it will be graphic. You may only come up once, and you may choose not to answer questions. Michaela, did you hear the speaking agreement?
Yes.
All right, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
As I said, I'm Michaela. My pronouns are she, her. I'm requesting funding for Gaucho Catholic for our fall retreat. And Gaucho Catholic is a Catholic organization open to all members of the UCSB community. And this retreat is a 2-day retreat designed to build community and learn about the Catholic faith and it's open to everyone. We have multiple talks about different parts of our faith, bonding games, and crafts. It is designed to help students find a community and feel welcome at UCSB, as well as deepen their understanding and relationship with the faith. Do you need to see the budget that we have? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. I was trying to unmute. My apologies. So if you would like to share further information with your budget, you're more than welcome to send it to myself and Senator Jones. But how much are you exactly requesting?
We are requesting $12,736.
Okay. Alrighty. Are there any questions for the speaker? Yes, Senator Malhese.
Can I request permission to go back and forth about 2 or 3 times with the speaker?
Yes, in a limited manner.
Okay. So firstly, our financial procedures are still being worked on, as well as like getting right now, Flux is being renewed, and we're integrating it with MIP Microid. So it will be difficult to pass anything in regards to for funding requests. But I wanted to ask if you guys have authorized signers for this year.
We haven't not yet, but I thought that we had to wait until the beginning of the school year, so I was going to get that done right away.
Correct.
If you can do that now, then I would get that done this week.
Yes. If you can please contact FinOps, financial operations team, or you can contact requisitions at as.ucsb.edu, and they will be an authorized signer on your behalf. I wanted to ask some things about your event. You said it's open to all students. How much people are allowed on this event? Is there a cap?
We have a cap of 50 people, so it's first come, first serve, for signups.
And is your signups on an Instagram? Is it available for everyone? Is it being advertised?
Yes, it's on our Instagram account, and we also will be talking about it when we're tabling in week 0.
And when is the date of your retreat?
October 17th.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for coming very early. I yield the floor back to the person.
Thank you, Senator Malhese. Are there any further questions for the speaker? Being none, I would also recommend going through a travel request. That's the most simple way because student information will also be needed. So that's the most preferable in terms of our processes at the association level. Senator Malhese.
Speaking of travel requests, I also forgot to ask. Gaucho Catholic, do you guys consent to using your one-time exception request for this retreat?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Are there any further questions for the speaker? Seeing none, thank you. Your time has elapsed. Are there any other speakers here for public forum?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Josie. Have you heard the speaking agreements?
I have. I'm also going to be joined in my speaking with Eddie Barajas, who's here, and Priscilla Round, who's here.
Okay. And then I did get an email that you sent me. Pardon looking at my Gmail, everyone.
It's me.
Right. There you go. All right, can you guys see that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
You can stay on this. Sorry.
Josie, you have 3 minutes. Your time begins whenever you want to start.
All right, thank you. You can stay on this first slide while I'm talking, and then you can switch to the next ones for Eddie's section. Hello, everyone. I'm Josie. I'm here as a student on behalf of Coastal Conversations, which is an RCO that is slowly being formed for campus. We've been to a few Senate meetings in the past to talk to you guys about a speaker series event that we want to put on with Salud Carbajal this fall. And we've been figuring out exactly how to pull together the funding for that event. So we're here today to tell you that we have been lucky enough to be sponsored by Phi Alpha Delta, the pre-law fraternity on campus, for this event. Priscilla is here on behalf of PAD. She's their president, to confirm that they're going to be hosting and paying for this event on our behalf, while Eddie and I will be running the functioning of the event. It will be a PAD sponsored event. So Priscilla, if you want to say hi now.
Hi everyone, I'm Priscilla. I'm the president of Phi Alpha Delta currently. Sorry about my camera. I'm just getting in the car right now. It was kind of a inopportune time for me, but I'm here to appear for Josie because she's a really valued and trusted member of our fraternity. And we really believe in this project that she's creating to make just politics more accessible for everyone. So we're really happy to be her RCO sponsor for this upcoming fall quarter. And yeah, Josie, is that good? Do you need anything else from me?
That was cool. Thanks.
Okay,
can I get a
great. Thanks, everyone.
So we've prepared a couple slides to tell you guys about the exact budget that we're going to be asking for, the funds that we want. The idea is that they would come from Senate unallocated and be moved to Phi Alpha Delta for this event. So Eddie's going to walk you guys through exactly what we need to be paying for and how much money we're going to ask for to pay for each of those things.
Yeah, and we are doing this I guess, with some consulting with both Sean and Michael, trying to figure out how we can navigate this with our event being on October 6th, which is at the beginning of the year, and not knowing who's meeting when. So we have 3 large costs, which include Campbell Hall, recording so we can distribute it online on YouTube and other platforms, and security, which would include UCPD and SSPs. A big reason why we're also coming here today is that we see from the events of today that security measures may be increased. UCPD has already contacted me again in regards to the event. And
Eddie, I hate to cut you off, but your time has elapsed.
Okay.
I do see Senator Jones's hand raised, though. Senator Jones.
I motion to extend the speaker's time by 3 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend the speaker's times by 3 minutes. Senator Claro.
Second.
There's been a second. We are. Is there any discussion? Senator Lucan.
Oh,
Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objection to the consent? Being none, motion passes. Go ahead, Eddie.
Great. So here are the minimums. I'll keep it short. And then if you go to the final slide, we are adding buffers kind of in relation to kind of these volatility metrics of what we expect that could be changed, notably the security measure. We need to coordinate with both teams and the university to figure out what security is really needed. Initially, we were thinking it was going to be 2 police officers. However, that estimate has since quadrupled after today, and we still need to coordinate with Salud Carvajal's team. That was just from the UCPD side. So in regards to that and also some other things, we wanted to give us some cushion of around $10,000. We don't want to use all of it in a perfect world, but we would like to give us that cushion so we can make sure the event runs smoothly and we can make sure this is successful for UCSB students.
And just to be clear, we are assuming that we will not be spending all of the money that we're asking for here. We're assuming that it's going to be significantly lower. We just have to be very careful to make sure that we have enough money specifically for security concerns. The initial like $2,500 cost that you see was if we were to have 2 security officers. And after speaking with people today, it seems that we can expect that we might need more. And we don't know how much it's going to cost if we have to get like metal detectors or more security officers on campus. So we just want to make sure that we're prepared in case that happens, but we don't expect to spend $10,000. That's all. And we will be taking questions.
Thank you. Senator Lucan.
Chair, can I ask a few questions back to back?
Yes, in a limited manner, please.
So, thank you, Josie and Eddie and Priscilla, for coming. I really like this project. It seems pretty cool. So you had said PAD was going to fund it, but I just want to clarify. Senate is funding it, but PAD is putting it on and you're using them as a means of receiving the funds. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We're asking for Senate unallocated funds, and since we aren't an approved RCO, the best way to get the money from unallocated to be used for this project is for PAD to be the RCO that uses the money for the project.
Sure, that makes a lot of sense. So then my next question would be, given that you don't have an exact estimate, I don't know, and this is not even necessarily a question for the speakers, but if another senator could speak to this for me and make it more clear, if we, for example, granted the 10,000, and they spent 5,000 or 6,000, whatever, what would happen to that rollover money? Maybe like someone on, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I talked to Michael and Sean today, and we kind of went through this process. So my understanding of it is that we'll submit a requisition. If you guys approve this funding, tonight Eddie and I are going to submit our requisition that then goes to Michael and his team, and they're the only signers that can sign off on it right now. And they'll basically be saying that you guys approved that we can use Senate unallocated to pay for these things. Then Eddie and I are going to go ahead and book Campbell Hall and get the contract with UCPD to do this. And it's not like we're going to have like access to debit money to pay them with. We just send all of those things in with our requisition, or we send them to the team, and it's Michael and his team behind the scenes who are actually using the money from Senate unallocated to pay for these campus affiliated things. So if we don't use all the money would just stay in Senate unallocated. If it happened where we ended up spending more money than what we'd initially asked for, then Eddie and I would come back to you guys after the fact and say, we actually ended up spending this amount and we need this much more to cover it. And then you would have to approve it again to send it through. Does that make sense? Maybe someone
Yes,
else.
that makes perfect sense. And I appreciate you explaining that. Like, clearly you guys have like gone through the hurdles in this and done your research. You're talking to Sean and everyone. So I appreciate you guys being thorough, and yeah, thank you for that. I have no further questions.
Senator Than.
Yes, I'm sure maybe Sean could explain this as well, or someone else, but why is
Senator
this
Than,
coming?
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. We're just gonna need another motion to extend the speaker's time. Senator Jones.
Motion to extend the speaker's time by 4 minutes.
There's been a motion to extend the speaker's time by 4 minutes. Is there a second? Senator Wahila.
Second.
There's been a second. We are now in discussion. Senator Malhis.
Hello. Okay. I have a question.
No, Senator Malhis, you're out of order. We are in discussion for the motion to extend the speaker's time by 4 minutes.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Since there's consent, is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, motion passes. Senator Than, you have the floor.
All right, thank you so much, Chair. So again, Sean could perhaps answer this, but I was wondering why you guys came to Senate instead of the Coastal Fund, because it kind of seems relevant to the event.
So we've spent like the last month and a half trying to figure out exactly how to get funding for this event, and we've pursued a few different paths, but especially with the complications since the finance committee isn't meeting and it being summer and not everyone's on campus and actively looking to be putting on events like this or responding to messages. Since we're a month out from the event at this point, because Carbajal is going to be on campus October 6th, since we're like getting close to the deadline, the quickest way and the easiest way to get these funds is with an RCO that was ready to go, and that was Phi Alpha Delta. So that's why. Does that answer your question? Does that help?
Sorry, Chair, do I have permission to speak, or should there's no
Senator,
back and forth? So
Senator Fan, you're recognized.
thank you so much. No, that's fine. Well, the thing is, Coastal Fund isn't an RCO, it's a BCU. So they have money, but I understand it's the summer, so if you reach out to them, they might not answer. So that answers it, but it's not an RCO, it's a BCU. Thank you. That's it. I yield the floor.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Coastal Fund one of like the 16 different things that the Finance Committee can pull money from? Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe not. Anyway, we looked at a lot of different ways to get this money, and after being advised by Michael and by Sean and considering the resources that we had access to basically today to pull this off so that we could get this presentation done at this Senate meeting, this is the route that we chose. And the missions line up and everyone is here and present and able to play their part. And so this is how we're doing it.
Being that we have a limited time for questions, I'm gonna I saw Holly, you had your hand.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Evan. I was just gonna comment to your question, Josie. I don't believe that the Coastal Fund is an entity that has rollover being held by finance. I would need to double check my facts on that though. But also I commented for anyone else to see 2 other comments. I would recommend, if you all approve this, to motion to approve up to $10,000 rather than 10,000 flat. So essentially anything that gets billed will be like what the final amount is, rather than dealing with we only spent 5 or something kind of a situation. And also, just for some additional context, Coastal Fund, I believe, only funds grant applications. So I think had they gone to Coastal Fund, they'd have to submit an application and those get reviewed at the end of the quarter. And so that may create some additional issues, but that's what I know.
Thank you, Holly. Senator Malhese.
Okay, yeah, some more information on that as Chair of Finance Committee. Yes, what Holly said is correct. A Finance Committee, like Coastal Fund rollover is not under the jurisdiction of Finance Committee. It's not an MOU. So they don't go to Coastal Fund. Additionally, since Coastal Fund technically falls under a BCU account, BCUs don't have authorized signers until AS1, so technically they can't do anything. So it seems they already know what they're doing since they had a meeting with Michael earlier this afternoon. Some question that I have is, can you guys repeat what's the actual day of your event? And also, I forgot my other question, but that one should be fine for the time being.
Yes, our event is on October 6th. It's Monday of week 1 or 2 of week 1. The event is going to be at 6 p.m. So I think we're planning, it's at Campbell Hall. The doors will open like 45 minutes before that. It's going to be free to students and student moderated, and tickets that you have to get a ticket, but it'll be free. They'll go on sale probably 2 weeks before that, and we're going to advertise all over the place.
I have one more question. Is it okay if I ask a follow-up to whatever they just responded me with?
Senator Malhese, I'm going to go ahead and recognize Senator Wahidullah just due to limited time constraints.
Yes, thank you, Senator Sussman. I just wanted to make a small point of clarification or comment. Similar to what Holly already particularly mentioned, I had a meeting with also just in support of Josie and stuff, that I had a meeting with the Coastal Fund's staff advisor, particularly yesterday, in regards to their logistical finance and deliberations and stuff. And typically their funding, it'll probably be best to handle it according towards events rather than particular events for grant application systems, or at least if they wanted to have a long-term event system to be housed under Coastal Fund. But I suggest for this particular event that Josie already communicated with Michael and them, that it's like probably the best to do it in this according structure after just meeting with Coastal Fund, just to provide some liaison committee perspective. But yeah. Thank
you, Senator Wahidullah. Since we have a little bit of time left, Senator Malhese, you're recognized.
As a follow-up to your response, how are you selling your tickets?
We haven't decided if we're going to sell through like AS ticketing office or through Campbell Hall or another way. We've been very focused the last few weeks on getting this funding, but we still have probably a week and a half or 2 weeks before tickets will go on sale, and we'll figure that out.
Just letting you know, you're to be aware
Senator
of the financial
Malhese,
policies.
Senator
for-
Malhese, you're not recognized. Sorry.
Can I be recognized just to make a quick statement for financial policy?
Sure.
Just letting you know to review over the financial policy in regards to selling tickets. No, Zelle, Venmo, online ticket, all through like AS and stuff like that. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Malhese. Are there any further questions for the speakers? Senator Shirkin.
Hi guys, thank you so much for coming. I just wanted to ask / like provide an idea. I know this is kind of like a political event. And being like a poli-sci student myself, I know that like maybe reaching out to their department and seeing if they would promote it within their department would be a good idea. I would be all over this. This is so cool. So I'd say that might be a good way to go about that. But yeah, thank you for coming today.
Yeah, thanks. We
Alright.
plan on getting a lot of like mass department emails sent out, so that'll definitely happen. Keep an eye out.
All right. Are there any further questions? Senator Malhese, I think. Okay, wonderful. All right. If there are no further questions, are there any other? Well, thank you for your presentation to Josie and Eddie and Priscilla. Thanks for being here. Are there any other speakers here for public forum? Seeing none, we now move back into item C, new business. So we left off with the bill to establish the first Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program. We heard from Senator Wahidullah, who was the author of this bill. Yes, Senator Wahidullah.
Yes, you can continue your statement. I just wanted to make a comment. I forgot to mention one particular point afterwards regarding the bill as well.
Absolutely. You're recognized.
Yeah, I just forgot one particular comment that when discussing about this particular bill and just regarding it, my expectations and goal about this is to refer this back to the liaison committee for further discussion with SCORE under the particular BCU for the logistical stuff regarding the training programs and the legality issues before the upcoming year in fall quarter. So I just my suggestion regarding if anyone makes a motion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We are now in discussion, or senators are now welcome to discuss a bill to establish the first Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program. Senator Jones.
Okay, so thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. I think this is a beautiful initiative and has the potential to change the student experience at UCSB. I know it really resonates with me as well. But if I can give my opinion, I think that maybe it should be a resolution rather than a bill. Simply because we don't have the metrics to quantify if the project works yet, because it's a pilot program. And because it's a project, it doesn't need to be legislated. So we kind of want to emphasize that like legislation is one of the second options. I think it should probably be a resolution just while it's starting off. And doesn't necessarily need to be added to legal code yet.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Senator Zhang.
Yeah, my comment is more not on the legislative procedure side, but just a note that because I'm a liaison senator for GDC and they've been doing a mentor program for last year for international students, no, not for the same groups here targeting. But I think they had a decent success. I think they pair like 70 people. So it's like I would say like a very decent result for their effort. So if you want to get connected and to see if you want to talk about procedure stuff for a similar project, like feel free to email me and I can get you guys connected and see if even we can make it into like a collab program or you know what I mean.
Thank you, Senator Zhang. Senator Malhese.
Another place you guys can collaborate with, I just realized because they're like really good. I remember Senator Wahidullah, you mentioned like first generation and like helping people get like affiliated with AS and like which is kind of like political science affiliated. Kerr Hall, actually, they have a station for first generation students, and as well as just helping students just get adjusted to school. Doesn't matter if you're first generation or not. And I think talking to them, or if you have been like reaching out to them, they'll be really like on for like advertising, like this program and stuff like that. So I would definitely contact them. It's a really good resource. I always go there to study.
Thank you, Senator Malhis. Senator Lucan.
I just have a question for Senator Wahidullah. Can you speak to the conversations you've had with SCORE about this and what their thoughts and reactions have been, and what parts of the bill reflect that? Because I tend to agree with Senator Jones that legislating should be kind of the last step. So I'm curious as to how that has gone.
Senator Wahidullah, you'll be recognized. Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thank you, Chair. Thank you everyone for just having those particular comments. It does mean a lot to have your suggestions and having just additional feedback towards this. And regarding some of the particular mentioning and comments about just connections and collaborations with this particular program, that is again what I tried to state or kind of elaborate a little bit as essentially a particularly better is that this particular BIPOC and first generation advocacy program or just peer mentorship program does not only make its own independent program, but what it does is to help uplift existing programs that could be either on campus or AS organizations as well. So if a mentor feels or is required that they would like to redirect someone or a participant to be in another peer mentorship program, if they think it's best for them as an individual, they can refer them to that one as well, or just to other alternative resources. But that's more of like what the reason is. It's more like a pipeline structure rather than an entire of itself. But I hope that explains for those comments. And to answer some of the particular stuff about regarding this bill, I had conversations with them around regarding on Tuesday in the past multiple weeks with SCORE's chairs, as well as their particular members about this and stuff. And they were interested about this initially to make this into a bill, just particularly that they are interested to make this into regarding implementing into the legal code. And similar to what I did with my particular LRGP, because it's also a bill in itself, that we like to see also this particularly also still implemented into legal code afterwards a pilot program, or at least see the success rates regarding towards this instead of a resolution. But it's more that this is something that they're interested about making that one of their particular bigger programs in their board. And that's just one of the reasons why I made it into a bill. But I hope that provides some more context. But they were very eager and interested about this program. It's also why we started this. I collaborated with some of the particular board members, and I tried to elaborate that into the written amendments as well. But yeah, feel free to ask any more questions.
Senator Shurkin.
Hi, I just want to say thank you, Senator Wahidullah, for bringing this to us. I just had a couple questions. So I really commend you on bringing the committees together in AS, like not just bringing them together in this bill, but also letting the mentees know about it through this program. And I was just wondering, like, if you could specify more on how you're gonna make this collaboration happen. To my knowledge, it's like through the entities and the committees, but also through the to the mentees as well. So how are you gonna make that happen? Could you clarify more?
Trey, can I speak about this?
Yes, you're recognized.
Okay, that's a good question. Particularly about this, because it's what I'm planning to do about this particular mentorship program is like it's going to be having the mentors become, like I said, a pipeline system towards to redirect the student or an individual to the existing services. So what typically would happen if through once we're done beginning the pairing or just the conversations between mentor and mentees, once they are deciding upon if these particular resources are best fitted for them, they can either just the individual or the mentor itself can help redirect that participant to the right resources, whether it's guiding them to the advocacy committee meetings or the committee meetings or to the clubs or the resources or individuals. The mentor itself will be, this is why we're emphasizing a lot regarding their trainings and the logistical processes for them, and just making sure that the mentors are on top of it when it comes to the volunteering based program, that they'll have the maturity and the standpointing and also the knowledgeableness in AS to help guide them to redirect them themselves to the resources. But if they do have any questions or are knowledgeable about stuff, that's why we do have a supervisor regarding an AS, I mean, not AS, but in SCORE board to help provide any additional questions that maybe mentors might not know or might not know how to assist with that. And the SCORE, a particular board that once I discuss with them better about which board member is best to be a supervisor regarding this program, they can help also assist with any additional questions as well to redirect or just maybe answer to me or just to any particular stuff as well. But I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Senator Wahidullah. Senator Jones.
What do you think about tabling it to a committee to develop it as a resolution? And upon receiving metrics and measures to quantify its success, we revisit it and its future as a bill. But turning it as like a stepping ground.
Okay. Chair, can I speak?
Senator Wahidullah.
Yes. Thank you for your thoughts and particular comments about this and stuff. I do have a alternative question though, that if it's needed to make this into a particular bill, or again, maybe the Senate can discuss this better, but regarding if we have to make into a resolution initially first before making into a bill, if it's a pilot program, wouldn't that also just like be a little bit of a complexity issue regarding towards that? Because then I have to reinvigorate that back into it if already the scoreboard was interested about making it into a bill. But it also connects to tying to my other alternative legislative pieces that are also pilot programs that are also bills. So I'm just not sure why it would still need to be a resolution if they're okay with it too. But again, the Senate can decide better upon that as well for further discussion.
Senator Jones. Respond.
Just because it's a pilot program, we want to make sure that the resource is actually being used by students first. And I understand that there's like a lot of interest in it, and it's a beautiful piece of work that you did. But just because it would be put into legal code and because of the efforts that we're making to clean, specifically Senator Sussman is making to clean up the legal code, we just want to make sure that the pilot program is going to be run in its full success before implementing it into the
Okay. Chair, I believe Senator Lucan also has a question. He can answer that first.
Senator Lucan.
I don't have a question. Actually, I was just going to say, per our standing policies, this bill has to get tabled to liaison seems the most relevant. And so that being said, obviously, excuse me. That being said, I would like to motion to table a bill to establish the first gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program PMAP to liaison committee.
There has been a, did you say advocacy or liaison?
Liaison.
Let me just type that out. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Senator Jones. There's been a motion to table a bill to establish the first gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program to liaison committee. Is there a second? Senator Zhang.
Objection.
There is an objection. Senator Zhang.
Point of order.
Yes, Senator Lucan.
I don't think you can object to a motion. You can second it or not, and then after the second, you can object to the call to question, for example. But
I believe you are correct, Senator Lucan.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Your point is well taken, Senator Lucan. Is there a second? Seeing
Second.
none. Senator Shurkin, we are in discussion to table a bill to establish the first gen and BIPOC peer advocacy advocacy program. Senator Zhang.
Objection, but I actually don't. Okay, I just have one more question before you get it tabled to the thing. Yeah, so I'm just saying objection now, and then we can come back to discussion.
Point of order.
Yes, Senator Lucan.
Since we're in discussion, Senator Zhang, you can talk about whatever you want right now.
Yeah, but
really-
then if it's discussion about the motion, then we should just only talk about the motion, right?
We're discussing the motion to table. We're not discussing the relevancy or the content of the bill. We're simply discussing the motion.
Yeah, but I have a question about the content of the bill is the thing.
Okay. Well, we are there since there's an objection to the bill. Holly, if you could remind me the process of an objection to the bill. Are we now
Point of
back?
order.
Senator Lucan.
We're in discussion to a motion. You can't object during discussion. If there's a call to question, you could object to that, but you can't object right now. So we can move on and there can be an objection later, but I don't think that's in order.
Yeah, thank you. Holly.
We could have just no second.
Yeah, I was going to clarify, was Has a call to question already been made?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah, so Senator Lucan is right. You'll want to wait until, so you'll ask for a call to question. If you're in the middle of discussion, then you all can just go back and forth on approving the motion or not. And then once you call the question, the senators can either object to the motion or they can object to the call to question, and we can go from there. But
Sounds good. Thank you, Holly.
if they object
We are
to the question, you'll take a hand vote. If they object to call the question, and do a vote to vote.
wonderful. Thank you. We are now in discussion for a motion to table a bill to establish the first Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program. Is there any discussion? Senator Malhese.
Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Object.
Seeing an objection, we now are in motion. Sorry, wait. Seeing an objection to the motion, we are now back in discussion, I believe. Is that correct, Holly? Simple thumbs up. Sorry, guys. Senator Clara.
Just point of information, what was the procedural question that was brought before to the merits of this bill?
What are you referencing, Senator Clara?
What were the objections towards the bill when it comes to the legal side of it? I'm just confused on that part.
The objections to the bill is on the basis of its format being a bill rather than a resolution, from my understanding of the other senators' perspectives. Does that answer your question, Senator Clara?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. All right. We are now back in discussion we are now back in discussion for a bill to establish the first Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program. Is there any discussion? Senator Zhang.
Yeah, thank you, Chair, for recognizing me. But I will first want to apologize for making you guys doing the whole thing. I had my hand after Senator Lucan, so I thought he's not gonna make a motion, and then he made a motion, so now we have to redo everything. So I want to apologize for wasting everybody's time. But I do have like a question on, I think Senator Ohila was mentioning about how this mentor is gonna be a pipeline and there's gonna be a training for all the mentors. I have a few concerns on those specific training in terms of, are we gonna only include resources that was under AS, or are we gonna include resources that's like whole like campus? That's my first question. And the second thing is, if it was like a broad range of resources, like including everything we got on campus, I was concerned of, first of all, do we have like a manual that covered all those resources thoroughly to offer help for people who sign up for the program? The second thing is, if it's only for programs under AS, does that feels like a little bit too narrow to not being able to offer adequate assistance for people who have specific needs? Yeah, that was kind of my question for the training content, basically.
Thank you, Senator Zhang. Senator Pasher.
Just a point of clarification. I believe the minutes are incorrect. It should be Senator Zhang for the objection, not Senator Jones. Oh, did you object? Oh, okay, never mind.
Thank you, Senator Pasher. Senator Jones.
I think another viable option besides tabling it to liaison committee could be advocacy committee because of the nature of the bill, in which I really do suggest tabling it to advocacy with the instructions of developing it as a resolution.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Senator Lucan.
Yeah, point of information. I'm a little lost. So are we back to the original bill, or are we back to discussion on the motion?
No, we are back to the original bill. We are no
Okay.
longer in discussion for the motion as the motion or the motion was objected.
So anytime there's an objection to a call to question, it just goes straight back? Like it just cancels the motion?
No, because there was no consent for the bill.
But
There was no consent for the motion, Senator.
there was a second, and then there was a call to question, and then so I'm sorry, I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to figure this out.
Absolutely.
So then after the call to question, there was objection, and so that objection did what?
That canceled the discussion of the bill, and therefore the motion failed.
So anytime that there's an objection, it would just go straight back. I don't think that's correct. Like if someone objects to the call to question, I don't think it goes straight back to discussion on the bill itself. I think there's still I don't think it takes you out of the motion. You have to vote to go out of it, I think.
I think you may be correct. This is the wonderful part about Robert's rules, everyone.
Yeah. Either way, can I just rescind my motion to table just to clear it up? So we can just keep. Okay, yeah, I'd like to rescind my motion to table a bill to establish Christian BIPOC, blah blah blah.
I'm still gonna. I see Attorney General Iden's hand up. I'm gonna ask for his guidance on this one.
Okay, so when someone presents a motion, someone seconds it, you go into discussion, right? Once it's in discussion, it's the bodies. No one can withdraw their motion at that point in time unless there's like a unanimous consent. Like the chair goes, "Do I have unanimous consent to withdraw the motion?" Since there was a call to question, that implies you want to go to a vote, and there was an objection to that call to question. When you object to the call to question, it means you want to continue discussion on whatever the motion is, not necessarily the bill. So and that requires a vote, which is 2/3. Or you could take unanimous consent if you'd like to make it a little bit easier. But you guys need to be doing a vote on the objection to the call to question. And if the chair would like to say, "Hey, do I have unanimous consent?" Like after you're going to vote right now. After this, if the chair wants, you're back in discussion, the chair wants to go, "Hey, do I have unanimous consent to withdraw the motion?" You can do that. Any further questions? Sick.
Done. Thank you, Attorney General Iden. Being that the motion has been rescinded, or it has not been rescinded yet, since we
I have a question for Iden. Can I please be acknowledged?
Senator Malhus, I'm going to ask for unanimous consent to withdraw the motion, and then you can be
Taylor
recognized.
just said he can answer questions.
Attorney General Iden.
Remember, you guys are in a vote for the objection to call to question right now. Can't withdraw it yet. You got to do that. You got to go back into discussion first. That's the procedure. Does everyone get that?
Yes, I have a question for you, Taylor, in regards to Robert's Rules of Order. So that's a regular objection. But let's say the call to question passes, and then afterwards the chair goes, like what does the chair say after we say after call to question, is it all like consent or something? And then afterwards it's an objection at that point. At that point, we have to go into a hand vote, right? To vote on the motion, correct? Or can you clarify that? There's something like that.
Attorney General Iden, thank you.
Yeah. So if say you guys all consent and the chair goes, are there objections to the consent? And someone objects, basically like what consent is, like generally, like there's a policy that I wrote last year, which is like all bills and financial movements of any money needs to be done by hand vote. That's not traditionally what happens in the Senate. Typically, it's like it'll be a unanimous consent, and if someone objects to the consent, it means you're kind of objecting to the voting method. So you're going to ask for it to basically be a hand vote, is what it is, if that makes sense. But traditionally, like in the standing policy that exists currently, most bills and financial movement is already done, because it just wasn't really done in my Senate. What would happen is like bills would get consented and then no one would bat an eye, and because people were kind of scared to object. So I kind of just made it so like everyone's voice would always be heard in those votes, if that makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you, Attorney General Iden. So the proper course of action now is to get unanimous consent or a 2/3 vote to re-enter discussion. Do I have unanimous consent?
Consent.
Is there any objections to that consent? Seeing none, we now re-enter discussion. Is there a would the sorry, Senator Lucan, would you like um, to withdraw your motion?
Yes, now that we're back in discussion on the motion, I would like to rescind my motion.
All right, the motion has been rescinded. We are now in discussion. Senator Sherkin, or sorry, let me recognize Senator or Attorney General Iden.
Okay, again, just to clarify, once the motion is second and it's on the floor, the individual who made the motion does not have like unanimous power to withdraw it. You still need to get consent to withdraw the motion. It belongs to the body now.
Wonderful, thank you. Senator Lucan, I apologize. Do I have unanimous consent from the body to rescind the motion to table a bill to establish the First Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program to liaison committee?
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, the motion is rescinded. Thank you. Thanks for your patience, everyone. We now are re-entering discussion. So is there any senators? Senator Shurkin.
Hi, thank you, Chair. So I know we just did this whole parliamentary procedure, and given that, I apologize for what I'm about to say, but given the sorry. So we just picked out our projects and advocacy committee, the projects that we want to take on this quarter, with like really good success. And I am concerned that if we do get this really big program, which is a beautiful program, even with Senator Wahidulah's attendance to our meetings, this wouldn't be fully fleshed out to its quality that it should be. So therefore, I'm advocating for it to be tabled to liaison committee or another relevant committee. Obviously, this bill has a lot to do with advocacy issues, though, so we would make sure that either I was there or my vice chair was there, or one of our staff to make sure that, we are involved in this. But in terms of making improvements or just being involved in this, I feel that we're not fully equipped to do that at this moment. However, we are going to be heavily involved. I hope the Senate knows that. So I would just advocate for it to go to liaison. I know we just did all this and I apologize, but yeah, thank you.
All right, everybody. So per Robert's Rules of Order, discussion should be limited to 2 times per voting member. I think this conversation has gone long. So I would like to make a proposed recommendation, and I can write it down in the agenda for you guys so someone can make the motion. But it would be a simple motion to table to liaison committee with the recommendation to reconsider as a resolution. With that recommendation, that doesn't necessarily mean it will become a resolution. It's a recommendation from the governing body. So if someone would like to make that motion, I will welcome it. Senator Pasher, I see your hand.
I don't believe I spoke in this discussion. Is it okay if I make a quick comment and perhaps a suggestion?
Yes, there's no motion on the floor, so you're able to.
Beautiful. Okay. Senator Wahidola, I would maybe move to have a motion to strike this from the agenda to give you more time to work on this bill and maybe change it to a resolution on your own time, if that's okay. If you need support in doing that, I myself am offering my services, and I believe Advocacy Committee can also help do this. So if you would be okay with a motion to strike this from the agenda and take this back. I know Senator Olay Olatan is on here also, so perhaps it would be the best course of action for both you guys who are authoring the bill to be in the Senate meeting and kind of polish it up before we bring it to the Senate floor.
Senator Clara.
Can somebody cite on the AS Legal Code where pilot programs have to be resolutions first?
That is not in legal code.
Then what is the problem with having this as a bill? Is it a procedural one? Is it its content? What is it?
The concerns from the senators, Senator Claro, are is simple. They're concerned that the legislative route is not necessarily the most fruitful in terms of a pilot program. Um, Senator Jones and other senators have spoken about it, and I would recommend speaking to them one-on-one, since this discussion is running quite long. But that's where the concerns run into.
Thank you for the clarification, Chair.
You're welcome. Senator Malhese. Okay. Senator Jones.
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. In regards to like it being I think tabling it to liaison committee might be a good move because it would allow Emon to work this out a little bit more and have the communication of liaison committee as well as the advisor for liaison committee, and they can kind of do their role as the liaison committee to communicate better with like all the entities, which may look better as a committee rather than just under Emon's name. So I feel like if we proceed with this and just say that under the recommendation that it turns into resolution, it would be the best move that we can do.
Okay. Senator Wahidola, I'll recognize you.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I wanted to answer some of everyone's particular questions about this, as well as my own individual recommendation and suggestion. And first of all, just thank you to everyone just providing feedback and everything. That really means a lot, and I do genuinely appreciate that. Regarding this is a particular legislative piece that is very important to me and stuff. I want to just touch on some particular questions beforehand that I know someone mentioned about, saying that this particular mentorship program does not is like legitimized to just only AS entities and resources. But if you can read into it properly, it's not only specifically tied to AS resources. Actually, I just emphasize that because the entirety of existing programs right now don't really do that as a particular program. They usually only advocate for institutionalized groups and institutionalized programs and stuff. But this, because it's student-led and volunteer-led, will help broaden it out to all existing programs. It's not limitized at all. And this is just a good opportunity for AS to step into that advocacy to help support student positions better. And from my own individual opinion, thank you again, Senator Pasher, and everyone's comments and stuff about this particular legislative piece. But I'm completely fine when it comes to tabling this in particular regards to that. The reason why I wanted just in general to bring this to the Senate body is that I also had already communications with Michael and staff advisors today, and I already communicated with SCORE again, and already kind of finalized some of the logistical issues with the amendments before, and I figured it out. So in regards to fleshing it out, it seems good to go. I honestly wanted to bring this here to refer it back to the liaison committee anyways, regardless of passing it or referring it towards or not, because I wanted to have still continuous conversations with SCORE, because this will be housed under them, and to have make sure that they have confirmation on the legitimacy and like the logistical issues. So my recommendation also is just to table it, refer it back to the liaison committee, because I would like to have our conversations with us and just communicate it about it better. But I do suggest that if the advocacy committee is interested to discuss about this further, that they can come to our meetings and they can help just communicate with us. But because I've worked on this really hard and I also communicated with SCORE about this, I would rather have this referred back to liaison committee. But I hope I answered most questions, and that is also the goal anyways I wanted to do, so I don't mind as well. So I hope that answers some of the clarity and context, Chair. Thank you.
All right, everybody. This conversation has run its course, in my opinion. So I would welcome a recommendation or a motion, the same one that I proposed earlier, with a motion to table a bill to establish the First Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program to liaison committee with the recommendation to reconsider as a resolution. Senator Than.
All right, motion to table a bill to establish the First Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advisory program to a liaison committee with the recommendation to reconsider as a resolution.
There has been a motion to table a bill to establish the First Gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program to the liaison committee with the recommendation to reconsider as a resolution. Is there a second? Senator Jones.
Second.
We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question or any further discussion on the motion? Senator Pastor.
I have a point of clarification.
Sure.
This might be at my own ignorance. What does a vote no and an abstention mean here?
An abstention would be you would be abstaining from the motion to table it to liaison committee. So you would not be voting or abstaining from the actual bill itself. You're voting or abstaining on
Right.
the motion to table.
But if in any scenario this gets voted no, this fails, and we need to motion to table it to a different committee is what I'm assuming needs to happen. If it fails.
If it does fail, we would have to reconsider the motion and do the same process of re-entering discussion to
Got it.
discuss.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question? Senator Pasher.
I'll call to question.
There's been a call to question. Is there consent?
Consent.
Consent. Is there any objection to the consent? Seeing none, the motion to table a bill to establish the first gen and BIPOC peer mentor advocacy program to liaison committee with a recommendation to reconsider as a resolution has passed. We are now on a bill to amend the finance committee membership positions. The authors, would you like to speak on the bill?
Yes. The bill was made to amend the membership of members of the finance committee because we are having a larger operating cash this year with the decisions from Senate rollover from last year. Additionally, because of that, we're expecting more requests to be coming in, as well as the fact that we have less senators on finance committee this year, so we would like to supplement that with more financial officers. We think that will bring benefit to the committee and make communication with the student body easier and delegate responsibilities more appropriately. However, it has come to our knowledge that there hasn't been a bill in regards to changing the finance legal code that is still yet to be passed. So I'm asking this to be discharged, to be removed from the Senate agenda. So if someone can make that motion, and we can discharge the other bill from finance committee and pass that today from Senate.
Senator Lucan, would you like to make a motion to remove a bill to amend the finance committee membership position?
Also, maybe the second co-author may want to speak on this before we actually make some motions.
Thank you, Senator Malhis. Senator Zhang, I don't see your hand. Do you want to speak on the bill?
I do, but because if I raise my hand right now, I'd be after the two senators that already have their hand up, so that's why I didn't.
Because you're author of the bill, I'll give you preference.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think Senator Malhis pretty much covered the thing. It's basically two reasons. One, we have a larger workload this year, based on a larger alternative, not larger, but a few alternative funding sources coming back. Second is we're short in number for senator members for the committee, so that add on to our workload per person. And the third thing is that we actually have a very competitive application cycle this year, and we actually have a lot of very qualified, if not overqualified, applicants who we would love, and we would actually have like strong face that will contribute to finance committee in general. So yeah, that's pretty much the three main reasons that we're thinking to expand the committee this year.
Thank you, Senator Zhang. Senator Lucan, I'll go ahead and recognize you.
Thank you. With respect to like everyone's time, I think we can save a lot of discussion on some of these things if we just move forward. Like we're gonna strike this, so like we can discuss the bill when it comes back up. And like same with the last thing we just did, the last bill, like I don't know, it's just kind of frustrating sitting here with a lot of discussion. We're not getting anywhere, and it's gonna get tabled to a committee anyway. So I'd appreciate everyone's cooperation. With that being said, I'd like to motion to strike a bill to amend finance committee membership positions from the Senate agenda for today.
There's been a motion to strike a bill to amend the Finance Committee membership positions from the 9-10 agenda. Is there a second? Senator Pasher.
I second.
There's been a second. We are now in discussion. Senator Zhang.
I have a question. If it gets strike, it doesn't get a table, right? Like how does this work?
If it's striked from the agenda, the authors have more time to work on the bill.
Yeah, but we don't really need to work on the bill. We actually need it to be tabled so it gets reintroduced back to Senate meeting after it gets tabled to the Finance Committee.
So Jenny, we talked about this last time. I think is we can't even like have
Senator Malhis,
bill
please.
existing.
Senator Malhis, please be
If I
recognized.
can be acknowledged, or if I can be recognized just for a second to follow up to, Jenny, so you don't need to repeat the words that you've said before.
Sure, Senator Malhis.
Yeah, we can't even have this bill existing until that one gets passed. That's the whole idea. That's what we said last time.
Okay.
Thank you. Senator Jones.
We also need to make sure to amend the agenda before striking it. So the motion language needs to reflect that as well. So, yeah.
Senator Lucan, would you like to
Yeah,
rescind your motion?
I would like to rescind my motion. The Attorney General had just told me that apparently you need to rescind the second and then rescind the motion, which I'd never heard of. But if it's in order, I would like to rescind my motion.
Thank you for that information. I've not heard of that before as well. Senator Pasher, would you like to rescind your second?
Rescinded.
Senator Lucan, would you like to rescind your motion?
Yes, I'd like to rescind my motion.
Okay. So the proper motion should be a motion to amend the 9-10 agenda and strike the bill to amend the Finance Committee membership positions. Is there a motion? Senator Lucan.
Motion to amend the 9-10 agenda and strike a bill to amend Finance Committee membership positions.
Is there a second? Senator Pasher.
Second.
We are now in discussion. Is there a question? Senator Jones.
Question?
Question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent?
Consent.
Seeing consent, is there any objections to the consent? Seeing none, motion passes. All righty. We are now out of new business. For the sake of this meeting, let's try to keep conversation brief and minimal where possible. We are running quite long. So we now move into the acceptance of the agenda. So the first motion that we would need to do in relation to the Finance Committee bill that was just striked would be a motion to discharge a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership from the Senate Finance Committee. For everyone, for clarification, this was tabled to Senate Finance Committee on the 6-4 meeting and does need to be passed before another bill does come to the Senate Committee or the Senate Finance Committee. So this would be a proper motion just to discharge the bill so we can hear it today. Senator Lucan.
Point of information. So the Senate has to discharge bills from committees? I was under the impression that a committee would discharge the bill back to Senate.
So because Senate Finance Committee has not met yet, it's been more than three. It's been more than 3 meetings, and per legal code, it has to be 3 meetings or give an extension from the Senate to hear a bill. Because it's been 3 meetings, it's the procedural route to discharge with a 1/3 vote from the Senate. So a simple 1/3 vote or unanimous consent will get this bill discharged from the Senate Finance Committee, so it can be voted upon today.
Thank you.
Senator Zhang.
Yeah, what's it called? Point of information? Or if I was just trying to make a comment, right?
If you're trying to make a comment, that'd be discussion. Where I was just proposing a motion. So what's your comment, Senator?
Okay, I'll be quick. I just trying to say it's not that so the bill that we're trying to discharge is actually a bill about leadership change from in the leave code. So it's not like Finance Committee actually in a way that can not really meet even without that bill getting passed. And similar with the bill that we introduced was the expansion of Finance Committee members. That one is also need to be passed after this one has been passed. So it's like a procedure thing. So it's like, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Zhang. So with that being said, is there a motion to discharge a bill to standardize the Senate Finance? Senator Jones.
I motion to discharge a bill to standardize Finance Committee leadership from the Senate Finance Committee.
There's been a motion to discharge a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership from the Senate Finance Committee. Is there a second? Senator Malhese?
Second.
The motion has been seconded. We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question? Senators, if you called a question, it would make this process much faster and we can get you out of here. Senator Ono.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there any consent?
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, motion passes. Alrighty. Yes, Senator Malhese.
Motion to open a bill to amend Finance Committee leadership.
There's been a motion to open a bill to amend a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership. Though Senator Malhese, I'll say we are in the acceptance of the agenda right now. So I would not necessarily agree that this is the most appropriate place to be amending bills that would be under action items. But yes, Senator Malhese.
If you want, we can move back into action items. It's only 7:50 right now, so I believe this will take very maximum 15 minutes.
Senator Malhese, you're out of order. We'll discuss this later in action items. Okay. The next thing that we would need to do is, yes, Senator Jones.
We are still in the motion though.
The motion to discharge the bill has passed.
The motion was made to open a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership by Senator Malhese.
Senator Malhese, would you like to rescind your motion?
No.
Senator Malhese, Attorney General Iden, thank you.
So like if a motion is out of order, say you're in a different section of the agenda, the chair reserves the right to call it out of order and not recognize it. And if you guys don't agree with that, you can kind of like make an objection to the chair, and it's either 50% plus one or 2/3. But you'd have to make the objection to do so if he like chooses not to recognize your motion. But also, again, if you're doing it in a different part of the agenda, it is out of order. So like maybe motion to re-enter a separate part of the agenda first.
Okay, I'll resend my motion.
All right, thank you, Senator Malhese. Yes, Senator Taylor Iden, thank you. Is your hand still up?
Sorry, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Senator Malhese.
Can I suggest for the Senate to move back into action items very, very briefly?
You can make the suggestion, but I am not going to recognize it. We have some other issues that we need to discuss in the action items first, or not the action items, the acceptance of the agenda. I think the best thing to do is go through these motions that we have recommended, and then we go into action items, and that'll make this process much faster. So, Senator Malhese, with all due respect, you're not recognized. There is another motion to remove a bill to amend the Finance Committee membership positions from the agenda. Or that's a recommended motion.
Recommended motion, one more time.
The recommended motion is on the screen. It is to remove a bill to amend Finance Committee membership positions from the agenda. Senator Lucan, thank you. Sorry, I was looking at a different part of my screen.
Yeah. Point of information. Did we not just strike that bill from the agenda?
No, Senator. We discharged a bill. And that bill was a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership. That was from the 6-4 meeting. And that bill has been discharged, which can now be brought to the Senate in this meeting. That was the motion that we just did. So there has been no striking of the current bill that is on the agenda.
Wait, is that the membership positions or is that the leadership position? I can't pull up the agenda. I'm in the car.
The motion that I am proposing is to remove a bill to amend the Finance Committee membership positions. To amend, sorry, the motion that I'm recommending is to amend the agenda. Sorry, I lost my place on the screen. Thank you, Senator Jones. Is to amend the agenda under action items by adding the consideration of a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership. That way we can hear the bill that was just discharged from committee. Does that help clarify, Senator Lucan? Okay, thank you. So I would welcome a motion to amend the agenda under action items by adding the consideration of a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership. Senator Ona.
Yeah, I'd like to call for the motion to amend the agenda under action items, adding the consideration of a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership.
There has been a motion to amend the agenda under action items by adding the consideration of a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership. Is there a second? Sorry. Senator Gutierrez.
Second.
Motion has been seconded. We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question? Senator Malhese? There has been a call to question. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objection to the consent? Seeing none, motion passes. Now we do need to go back to a previous motion that is up here. We do need to motion to strike. I think the motion got lost. But the motion would be to strike the bill it's the bill to amend membership. I just need to pull up the correct bill name. Sorry. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Jones. You are recognized.
Previously, under new business, we motioned to strike a bill to amend Finance Committee membership positions from the agenda.
Beautiful. Then it is handled. Thank you. Thank you. I lost my place, everyone. That's what happens when you read Robert's rules too often and look at the agenda for 6 days on it. We now move into action items. Senator Malhese.
Motion to open. Hold up, I just pulled the agenda because I'm in the car. A bill to standardize Finance Committee leadership.
There's been a motion to open a bill to standardize Finance Committee leadership. Is there a second? Senator Fan.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Malhese, if I may ask, I'm curious as to why you want to bring this bill to amend it on the Senate floor. That'll make this process much lengthier and will make our meeting much lengthier.
I thought since now this bill to change the Finance Committee legal code is now in the Senate, we can somewhat we can now edit or we can make suggestions to amend the Finance Committee legal code, and we can just extend the officer positions on the spot now. So then we don't need to go through additional a timeline for that.
Senator Malhese, with all due respect, amending a bill on the Senate floor will take quite a long time. And I would highly recommend that we had this conversation last night, Senator Malhese, that the proper way to do it is go through your trainings and then bring in a bill later that just simply amends those numbers. So I would respectfully say that this is going to be a much lengthier option that is not respectful to everyone else's time here. So as I recommend, we vote on this bill tonight. It passes, and then you can make a small adjustment to those numbers to the Senate Finance Committee and another bill that's not so pressing. Senator Than.
I rescind my second then.
Thank you. The motion or the second has been rescinded. Senator Malhus, do you rescind your motion?
I don't rescind my motion.
Senator Malhus, as I said, this is simply just disrespectful to the rest of the senators' times. As I said again, I
Point of
would.
order?
Yes, Senator Lucan.
If you leave the motion and there's no second, it'll just get dropped, or I don't know the correct terminology, but if no one seconds it, then we move on anyways.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second since the second has been rescinded? Seeing none, the motion dies. All right, we are now on the next item, which is the updates to the standing rules of the 76th ASU/CSB Senate. This was on the last agenda. It's a simple amendment, just saying that senators should make the effort to go to the committee which their bill has been tabled to. So, is there a motion to update the standing rules of the 76th Senate? Senator Jones. You are muted, Senator Jones.
Thank you. Motion to pass the updates to the standing rules of the 76th ASU/CSB Senate.
There's been a motion to pass the updates of the standing rules of the 76th ASU/CSB Senate. Senator Pasher.
I second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Lucan.
Call to question.
Question has been called. Is there consent? Senator Wahidullah.
Consent.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there any objections to the consent? Seeing none, motion passes. Awesome. Thank you, guys. We now are on a bill to establish the Language Revitalization Grant Program at UCSB from Senators Wahidullah and Harder. Is there a motion or discussion on this bill? Senator Wahidullah.
I'll just make a small point of just additional information and context about some additional amendments we discussed about in our liaison committee meeting, as well as outside of particular BCUs assisting with this. Unfortunately, Senator Harder isn't here today, but I'll just provide some more additional context of what we worked upon this. I discussed with the particular BCUs who are interested in housing this under their particular organization and who will be able to safely allocate the fundings towards this. So we added some additional amendments simply to discuss about the upcoming fall, that this program's funds will be just housed currently under ICES de Tierra for an MOU, and just further discuss communication with just the logistics of ensure that all the communication of allocating of funds is safe, and just help to ensure their own budget is protected while also safeguarding the LRGP program's allocation separately. I just wanted to make an additional plan about that. Other than that, the entirety of the bill is similar to how it is now. But every quarter, a quarterly analysis, we'll be having the particular BCU and as well as the committee, like our temporary supervisory committee, to help send reports about this program. And just by the end of the year, hopefully we can just discuss about it better to see if how much languages were studied, the students' impact, and the equity of access. It's just decide whether to continue or to expand the funding or the program or not. But that's just all that we discuss about, and I discuss about individually with Michael and them as well.
Thank you. I'm going to yield chairship to Senator Jones because I'd like to speak on this bill as well.
Okay, I now yield the chair. Senator Sussman.
You can recognize Senator Lucan first.
Senator Lucan, you're recognized.
Thank you. This is a point of information. I'm sorry for asking so many questions. Why is this in action items and not old business or new business if it's a bill?
Because it exited committee, so it becomes an action item.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Senator Jones.
You're good, Senator Sussman.
So I personally love this idea. I'm someone who loves languages myself, so huge commendments to Senator Wahidullah and Harder. It's a similar concern that I have to that of the resolution which we tabled earlier, in that it's a new program, and my only concern is that adding something new into legal code that we don't have any metrics or qualifications for is simply just adding into legal code, making our governing documents more hard and difficult to understand. So my recommendation and my hope that you guys understand is that I would like to table it to either advocacy or liaison committee in hopes that it becomes a resolution where it can later be reconsidered to be a bill. And it's not because I don't think this program should exist. I think it should, but it's simply just a legal code matter. That's my only concern. But I think this program should eventually pass. I just would like to see it as a resolution. That's my only concern at the moment. Thanks.
Senator Wahidullah, and then I'll get to Senator Lucan.
Actually, Senator Lucan probably should discuss about this further because I want to just answer some particular context and 2 questions to Senator Sussman. So I'll let him just to go away.
Okay, Senator Lucan.
Yeah, to add context, or sorry, to add my own perspective on what Senator Sussman and Senator Jones, the concerns you had echoed earlier about adding new stuff to legal code. I totally understand, especially given the big cleanup bill that you're working on, Senator Sussman. And I'm generally, like I said earlier, in favor of legislating last whenever possible. However, there are someone who had spent a lot of time in the association, was a senator for 2 years, and had been in the association the entire time. They were in school before they graduated. Shared this piece of advice with me, and I think it's kind of important to consider in this moment that sometimes you add stuff to legal code because it lays the groundwork for projects that people in the future can take up. So it's not necessarily that it's kind of over encumbering our legal code, but that it's creating an opportunity for something to a project to be pursued in the future. So again, like you, Senator Sussman, I think this bill is a great idea. And I don't necessarily have a comment on this specific bill going into legal code or not, but I did want to share that perspective because I think it's important to take into account when we're considering these bills. Thank you.
I would like to yield the chair back to Senator Sussman because I also have a slight comment that I'd like to make once recognized, of course. So I yield the chair back to Senator Sussman.
Thank you, Senator Jones. I'll go ahead and recognize Senator Wahidullah.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Well, to discuss about these 2 particular comments, I have just 2 particular questions to you, Chair, as well as Senator Sussman about this. Regarding initially first, I completely understand because the peer advocacy program was something new and brought about initially first to the Senate body and stuff. But one particular question I have regarding the LRGP, as well as this previous particular legislation I have, is that I've brought this upon multiple various times to the Senate body. I've discussed about this in multiple individual reports. I've discussed about this in liaison committee meetings with chairs present or pro tempores present. I've discussed about it multiple times, opening the floor to multiple discussions, which is why I'm just having a little bit of just a particular question. If this was a case about the concerns of why this should not be tabled or this should be a bill or not, why has not this been particular question brought upon sooner? If it's not suddenly like now, instead of just simply when I had multiple opportunities to discuss about this and for this to be changed, instead of like due to the time inconveniences about this, and I'd like this to be supported to students as soon as possible, that it just makes me wonder a little bit of particular concerns. Why was this not brought upon sooner when I left this open to stuff too? And 2, regarding, I understand about the cleanup bill you guys are particularly working on. I understand that the certainty about just making it as clean and concise as possible about this. This is more of like a point of information, but regarding to implementing this into legal code, is there a certain time inconvenience in regards to this about when you need to apply this to legal code? Because simply if it takes the time or time inconveniences between this, like the time that honestly I could bring this back upon to the Senate, does it have to even be concerned about that bill or not? Because I don't know if you guys have to immediately put it into there, but that is just the 2 concerns or comments I wanted to discuss about. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wahidullah. Senator Jones, go ahead.
Senator Wahidullah, I absolutely hear you, and I think that your work is beautiful, and the time that you spent into it truly reflects in the legislation itself. The only I agree very closely with what Senator Lucan is saying, that I would love to see this in legal code. I think it is brilliant. It's beautiful. It's just a concern for me on the actual language that is used within the bill, because it is a full page of where it says, let it be further resolved. And then many more pages of whereas and let it further be resolved. And so that just reflects language of a resolution. So it just feels like its nature intrinsically should be a resolution rather than a bill, simply because of the language that is used within it. And that is the only reason why, but I would love to see it in legal code personally. And again, I really want to reiterate, like, I understand the like time constraints and that we didn't get back. I personally didn't voice these concerns until just now, but I also didn't notice it at first, and it took me a minute of looking back into it and reflecting upon it further that it came to my attention, and that's it. Thank you.
Before we make any sort of motion on this bill, I know that there may be some representatives for unit reports. So do I have unanimous consent from the body to move into?
Point of order.
Yes, Senator Lucan.
Actually, there's a point of information, but I'm asking about the correct order. If we're discussing something in particular, is it in order to just then move out of it, or do we need to finish discussing that? I'm just trying to clarify.
No, because there's been no motion made, so the discussion is more of a formality than all things. We are not in any sort of motion, so we are able to move freely about an agenda.
Sure.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney General Iden. Good, cool. All right, so do I have unanimous consent from the body to move into item I3, unit reports? Is that consent? I just heard a little
Consent.
murmur. Wonderful, thank you guys. We now move into item I3, unit reports. The first being I4, President's Cabinet Report. Is there such a representative? Attorney General Iden.
Sweet. Do I have the floor?
You have the floor.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So I will be, Leanne unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, so I'll be kind of representing her in her report, and I'm just gonna start ripping it. Hello, Senators. I hope you all are soaking up the last of your summer before we head back to school. I unfortunately cannot make it to the meeting today as I'm on a family trip, but I have some important updates I wanted to share with you. Firstly, as some of you may be aware, campus wants Associated students to migrate over to the campus financial system. I want to assure you all that I've been having regular meetings with Sean, Michael, and the Division of Student Affairs about this subject to come up with a plan to maintain our fiscal autonomy and continue utilizing our MIP micro system. The goal is to show campus that its financial system cannot accommodate the vast variety of financial procedures AS deals with, so we should instead find a way for our two systems to communicate with one another. Next, I want to let you know that I've been in contact with Chancellor Asanis, and I'm waiting to hear back to schedule a meeting with him. After an initial one-on-one with him, I plan to coordinate an AS delegation of the Chancellor so you can hear from a wider variety of voices and learn about what AS does on campus. This summer, I've been hard at work planning and engaging AS1 leadership retreat. This is a friendly reminder to please RSVP by this Friday, as it's mandatory for all AS officers, especially elected officials. On that note, I would like to request a policy exception be granted so that I can purchase 3 $10 gift cards to raffle off at the end of the first day of AS1. Historically, attendance has been low at AS1, and I'm trying to come up with new ways to encourage participation throughout the entirety of the event. I intend to purchase gift cards from Kage, Blenders, and Woodstocks. Another event that I've been working hard on planning is the AS Kickoff Fair on Friday, October 3rd at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thank you to the Outreach Committee who has already signed up to the table, and I expect to see each and every one of you at this event, even if you're not on the Outreach Committee, so that you can meet your constituents. One other major topic I want to discuss today is my intention to change the Senate reporting structure. Currently, all BCU chairs or vice chairs are required to give a quarterly report to the Senate, which typically occurs during week 8 or week 9. As a former BCU co-chair myself, I found this system to be inefficient. Chairs who would like to come to report in person wait up to 3 hours for their turn to speak in the meeting, just to speak to 20 people for 2 minutes and then leave. Because of this inefficiency, a growing number of chairs simply submitted written reports that nobody really read. Quarterly reports are one of the most efficient and effective ways to be knowledgeable about all corners of the association, but they are very underutilized. This is why I propose, with the support of the IVP and the first and second pro tempores, quarterly State of the Association meetings. If passed by you all in early fall quarter, these meetings will take place on the Tuesday evening of week 8 of each quarter. They will be mandatory for all AS entities to have at least one representative present at all times. Each representative will give a 2 to 3 minute report for the entire group to hear. The meeting will also include spaces for executives and senators to give reports, as well as dinner. The meeting will be live streamed to the campus community, and senators can follow up with any questions to BCUs via email or a further meeting. I believe this change in reporting structure will greatly improve the communication, collaboration, and cross-entity knowledge across AS, while also making Senate meetings more efficient. I hope that you will support this plan when it comes to the Senate floor in the next meeting. Finally, I wanted to highlight the AS entities and meeting times spreadsheet that Iman shared with you all. I ask that you all please enter your name, contact information, and office hours information. And also each committee will also enter the same. And this is part of an effort to increase AS visibility to campus. And as elected officials, we must not shy away from people we represent, but rather make ourselves more and more available to them. That is all for the report. I don't feel wholly confident answering like all questions, but I could do my best if you guys have anything you'd like to ask.
Are there any questions for the speaker? Yes, Senator Lucan.
Thank you, Attorney General. In regards to your hoping to schedule a meeting with the Chancellor and creating contact between him and the association, I had been working on a bill, and I'm glad that the senators can hear this, to create an ad hoc committee that would bring together executives, some leaders from Senate, and other prominent figures in the association to meet about and then later meet with the Chancellor. And so my question is, would you like to be included in that? And do you have any recommendations for how to structure that? Obviously, we can talk after the meeting so as to save time as well.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that's a great idea. I'd personally love to be involved if you guys are looking for more people. I will just say, I believe it's constitutionally the president reserves the exclusive right to represent the association in matters across campus. So when you are structuring such a bill, I would make sure you're either saying you're representing the committee or you're representing the Senate. If that makes sense. It's kind of a weird one that it's reserved for the president, so you can't necessarily, as a senator, represent the entire association. But yeah, I would definitely love to be involved.
Thank you, Attorney General. Are there any further questions for Attorney General Iden? Seeing none, let's get some consent to go back into item G, action items. Do you have unanimous consent? Thumbs up works. Wonderful. Thank you. So we are now back on the bill to establish the Language Revitalization Grant Program at UCSB from Senators Waghila and Harder. Our conversation left off on Senator Jones. So are there any further conversations or discussions that would like to be discussed about this bill before we move into a formal motion? Senator Waghila.
I have a point of information. I do understand, because particularly in action items, that this is not possible in legal code in particular, but is there any way just to make a motion to open the particular piece of legislation so we can just fix this particular wording language and just go into it in action items as a question?
For the sake of continuity, I would recommend not doing that. As I said, motioning to open and amend bills is very tedious and lengthy. The simple and I think the most easiest way to do it is simply table the bill back to a committee where it's amended and then brought back to the Senate. That's the easiest way to do it. So that way the Senate does not have to stay here for quite some time to amend, motioning to strike and then motioning to add, because amendments are quite difficult. Unless this bill is pressing in time, I think that would be the best course of action.
Okay, thank you.
So with that being said, I think the best course of action now would be to motion back to liaison committee on the basis to fix language. So I think that something along those lines, if someone would like to motion back to liaison committee to address the language issues and bring it back to Senate, I would welcome such a motion. Senator Lucan. No. Is there Senator Jones?
Motion to table a bill to establish the Language Revitalization Grant Program at UCSB back to the liaison committee to address the language.
Is there a second? Seeing none, the motion dies. Is there a motion that a senator would like to make on this bill? We do need a motion on this bill before it goes anywhere. If
Point of
not,
information.
Yes, Senator.
What happens if no motions are made?
If no motions are made, then the bill is it effectively just does not be heard today, and it goes back to the authors, or it does not go back to the authors. It's simply just not heard today, and it'll be effectively tabled indefinitely. That's the proper course of action if we don't hear it today. Holly, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry, do you mind repeating the question for me?
Yeah,
If there's no motion on the bill today, it just effectively is indefinitely tabled.
Yes and no. So, tabled indefinitely means it would need to be brought back under a different like numbering or naming convention, and it would need to be a different iteration of the bill. So if you don't take any action on it, it kind of goes into purgatory, really. It like both exists and doesn't. So it would be up to whoever's chairing or creating the agenda to bring it back, but it also doesn't fail. So it just kind of sits with nothing happening to it. It neither passes nor is tabled indefinitely.
So to avoid a state of limbo on this bill, Senator Lucan, would you like to make the motion?
Yeah, motion to table a bill to establish the language revitalization grant program at UCSB to outreach committee to address the language.
There has been a motion to table a bill to establish the Language Revitalization Grant Program at UCSB to Outreach Committee. Is there a second? Senator Ona.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Fan?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there any consent?
Consent.
Thank you. Since there's consent, is there any objection to that consent? Seeing no objections, the motion passes. This is more procedural stuff. So, as you guys know, we had the TQCOM issue with the election being invalid. We now need to motion to retroactively approve the election so that way we can appoint the positions tonight. Again, more procedural. So this is the recommended motion if someone would like to make it on the agenda official. Senator Jones.
Motion to retroactively approve the internal election held by the Trans and Queer Commission for the 2025-26 school year on the basis of the authority granted by a bill to update BCU election code.
There's been a motion to retroactively approve the internal election held by the Trans and Queer Commission for the 2025-26 school year on the basis of the authority granted by a bill to update the BCU election code. Is there a second? Senator Pasher.
I second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Lucan.
Call to question.
Question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Consent.
Thank you. There has been consent. Is there any objections to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. The next thing is a motion to we already discharged the bill. That's a procedural error. My apologies. So the next thing that we need to do, Senator Pastor, I see your hand.
Sorry,
worries.
I didn't mean to have my hand up. Apologies.
No worries. Senator Lucan.
I would like to make a motion to allocate up to $10,000 from Senate unallocated to Phi Philadelphia pre-law fraternity account number 723 for the sponsorship of a student event housing Congressman Salud Carbajal at Campbell Hall.
There's been a motion to allocate up to $10,000 from Senate unallocated to Phi Alpha Delta pre-law fraternity account number 723 for the sponsorship of a student event hosting Congressman Salud Carbajal at Campbell Hall. Is there a second? Senator Pasher.
I second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Jones.
Call to question.
There's been a call to question. Is there now consent?
Consent.
Consent.
Are there any objections to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. Thank you, guys. I know that was not the most fun. Thank you again for your patience. It's much appreciated. We now move back into item H, or no, not item H, I apologize. Item I3, unit reports. We left off with the president's cabinet report. Now we move into item I5, executive director's report. Is there such a representative present? Seeing none, we move into executive officer's report. Seeing none, is there a Senate representative report? Seeing none, administrative reports. Seeing none, we now move into item J, committee report. Is there a report from the Standing Committee on Finance? Senator Zhang or Malhis, would you like to make a report tonight? Seeing none, we now move into item Senator Lucan.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a brief report for Outreach Committee.
Yes, we are now in item J2, Standing Committee on Outreach. You got a little ahead of me there.
Yeah.
Senator Lucan, you have the floor.
Thank you. So Outreach has met twice so far. The first meeting was chaired by myself. The second meeting was chaired by Senator Harder. We have created similar or inspired by some work from chairs of the other committees. We have created a kind of sort of vision plan for our committee for the year, which I do not believe has been shared. It's accessible to the Senate through the Outreach Committee meeting minutes, but I would like to share that. Maybe I'll send it in the Slack to the rest of the Senate so everyone can see what we will be working on. And then in regards to what you see on the agenda, the Direct Democracy Project, this was an idea that the internal vice president had, and him and I had gone back and forth discussing this. And effectively what the Direct Democracy Project is it would be a poll that we send out to the student body with 4 different projects that are ideas for projects that different senators have. It would take a vote on these proposed projects. Would you like to see this funded or not? And additionally, open it up for comments or questions or proposed changes to the project. And then whichever project is voted on or receives the most votes for yes, you would like to be funded, we as a Senate would take that up as a group project. And so I think it's a really cool idea. And again, I think a lot of us have expressed the desire to be more receptive to student feedback as well as to connect with students more. And so this is a great way to do that. It's simple, and it is not to say that projects proposed that students don't want funded or don't vote for can't be taken up. It's just that we are, directly hearing from students and getting out to those that we are supposed to and elected to represent. So yeah, that's all I have. And then I would like to invite the Grant, the IVP's head of staff, if he's here to also add on.
Thank you, Senator Lucan. Is the IVP's staff member here? If not, we will now move we'll now move to the Standing Committee on Advocacy. Senator Soundarajan, would you like to make a report?
Point of order, you skipped the liaison committee.
I did. Thank you, Senator Than. I appreciate it. I just got my eyesight checked yesterday, and it's not good. We are now in Senate Standing Committee on Liaison. Senator Wahidullah, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. I'll just try to keep my report a little bit brief and stuff. Anyone can have the time to particularly go over our report and just go over it anytime if they like. But I'll just give an overview to allow also us to have more further elaborate discussion on the Judicial Council appointments and let Senator Dan discuss about it better. But just to provide some feedback about our particular meeting so far, as I mentioned in our last meeting as well, for the following entirety of this month as well, around between the beginning of October to mid-quarter, we are working in regarding to the objective of appointments and the COC collaboration. So far, we're just working with COC to help finalize the 2025 or 2026 appointments. And according to COC, their interviews will begin at the week of the third week of fall because they still have to finalize their particular board members, but we're trying to get at least a clarification for them so they can redirect that and get the appointments done as soon as possible during the fall quarter. And so far from our collective reports from a lot of our committee members, as well as me and Myra and stuff, and Senator Tan, that we've noticed a lot of inactive BCUs and like just collecting a lot of just the particular BCUs and just keeping track of that so we can work to at least have not only the solution of them confirmed, but also removal of their websites, in particular anything that causes confusion to many students and Senate members as well. And today, obviously, we're going to be talking about the Judicial Council reports because we were able to finalize them, and we're going to be bringing them to the Senate floor, possibly through closed discussion. I would recommend possibly just to have more further elaboration for a Senate body to decide. But overall, we've been also, as we're continuing with our logistical stuff for this month, we have been collecting a lot of legal code feedback, especially in particular regarding appointments and stuff. That a lot of it seems to be outdated, or they have updated their board members or their position name. So now me and Senator Tan are working to create an omnibus bill to help address these outdated and inconsistent codes, and including the appointment processes. But regarding towards staff collaboration and stuff, we have been working for more feedback forms, directory updates, and just helping to create more morale efforts to support them and stuff. For example, last week, one of our particular ticket offices members, such as Edwin Zepeda, is going to be transferring to UCLA. So our committee members helped to create a special card and a token appreciation for him, just to show that we care and the senator members do appreciate all their hard work they've been doing. And we plan to create more things like this as well. So if any other senators are also interested to show they care about staff members, feel free to reach out to us. And it's good to kind of start that collaboration a little bit better between us and the committees as well. But in regards to also accountability stuff I mentioned about, because a lot of our notes we've been seeing, a lot of the either AS staff members has been difficult to contact with, as well as BCUs have been a little bit inactive. We're working on some just new alternative systems and support to make new senators, as well as any members, have better ways to contact staff members better, or BCU members particularly better, just to help reconnect senators to do the same. So I might recommend it if you guys also are trying to have I have been having some miscommunication issues with staff. I have been teaching my committee members a great opportunity to use Google Calendar sometimes as a great way to help communicate if BCUs or advisors are unable to assist with you any particular needs. And just additional note, liaison committee right now, because we are still typically going for logistical stuff, we're not doing event planning yet. We're going to be probably doing that around in the fall once we get the logistical stuff and the financial stuff fixed. I'll be in charge of that regarding the event programming. But right now, liaison committee will be meeting bi-weekly in September for logistics and stuff, and doing more emphasis on staff appreciation, just more transparent communication, and just getting a lot of these just clean up regarding a lot of the internal processes. And now we're also integrating recently both the GroupMe and Slack over communication, just according to legal code, and just many various comments that staff have mentioned to us to make this happen as well. And just overall, as entirety, what we've been working on so far, and just communicating just better, and just figuring out all these logistical stuff continuing until the October, hopefully, so we can start working on more events and expanding collaboration and stuff. But that's about all from my end, and then Senator Tan can just discuss a little bit more before we get into JC reports.
Yes, I just want to say that, thank you, Vice Chair Wahidullah. There's so much integral information in our report regarding staff, regarding BCUs. So it's kind of integral if you guys want any updates regarding AS, which we've been going through, to read that report. And I am not as kind as Senator Wahidullah, so if you ask me a question, I will not answer if it's in the report. Moving forward, mainly, there are some few notes. One regarding the question of honoraria. I've heard from some staff that they're concerned with the summer honoraria, which per legal code the form was supposed to be sent on this Monday. And I would just like some clarification on that. Other things is that there's a suggestion for BCU legal codes to have the duties of their positions drafted by chronological order. So we might be wanting to look into checking in with BCUs to see if they could actually update their duties to be more clarified via chronologically. There's concerns with how COC operates, in the idea that is a very centralized system, and if COC doesn't work, it ruins a lot of BCU boards. because they're wholly reliant on COC's ability to fill those positions, including miscommunication or lack of communication on the COC end, where they will fill a board position, but they will not let the BCU know. And then the BCU puts in their own member. And then obviously you can see where I'm going. It's not good. And then finally, as Senator Wahidola said, we are working on the Omnibus Legal Code. We've worked with Pardal, America Reads, PB, CAB, COVO, so far, so good. So we've been doing a lot of work, and I'm very appreciative to the rest of the liaison committee. Moving forward, the JC report, it is very quick, it's very concise. We also have our interview notes within the JC appointments report if you would like to look in more depth to that. And as per Pro Temp or current Chair Sussman and recommendations from my vice chair, I would highly suggest that we talk about the JC appointments in a closed discussion. So I don't know how to go about that, but I yield the floor so that Evan could, Senator Chair Sussman could answer some.
Yeah, thank you both for your report. Very grateful for all of the work that you are doing. We will go to a closed session once we are under appointments and resignations. There we can have a discussion once we reach the Judicial Council members. So thank you. Any further questions? And to also clarify your concern of honoraria, we will be making appointments tonight to the honoraria committee. So that way the committee can officially start meeting since we did not have any active members. Thank you. We now move to item J4, Standing Committee on Advocacy. Senator Sundararajan.
Hi, everyone. Today we had thank you, Chair. But we had our second advocacy committee meeting today, and we decided to move forward with two projects, with the first one being the Pardal Light Tunnel project, which means that we're gonna replace all the lights in the Pardal Tunnel, just kind of make it look nicer. And like there's obviously I think it's like 70% working right now, like just trying to get them all working. And then on top of that, an idea that we had was that replacing them with RGB lights. So that way for like the 4th of July, we can make it red, white, and blue. For like Christmas, we can make it red and green, and so on and so forth. And the second project we decided to go forward with was the Narcan project. And then so for this project, we would be implementing 40 I think they're called cabinets, 40 cabinets in all of the undergraduate in pretty much all of undergraduate housing. Like that's the residence halls as well as the apartment complexes like San Ynez and San Joaquin. So we would have 40 of them implemented, and we actually I think we the treasurer on our committee, he spoke to RHA, and then they said that if we are able to get the initial Narcan and get the cabinet set up, that they're willing to maintain it. So continue the stream of Narcan, and we think this is going to be a very impactful project. Mainly because even if it helps save one life, that is still incredible. That is still amazing, and it's gonna make the project, worth it. And another thing is, even if someone is not having an opioid overdose, they can still take Narcan with little to no detrimental side effects. So yeah, if anyone would like to help out on any of these projects, please talk to me or Senator Shurkin as well. Thank you.
Senator Sundararajan, thank you. Projects like these is what honestly keeps me inspired to keep going. So thank you for the vital work that you guys are doing in advocacy committee. Senator Pasher.
Just point of clarification. I'm allowed to speak if I'm on advocacy committee, right? I don't have to be a chair.
That's correct.
Okay. Just to give a brief update on how I am participating in advocacy committee as a member. I attended the meeting today and the last meeting, and my goal right now, it's going to be a quick turnaround. I have to make a slides presentation to kind of pitch my Department of Legacy Gauchos to advocacy committee because I do need help with it. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys with that and let everyone know that I am working on the Department of Legacy Gauchos resolution that I have put forth and seeking advocacy committee's help in that respect and regard. And that's my update.
Thank you, Senator Pasher. Again, all of the work that you guys are doing as senators is very inspiring, and I want to send my personal thank yous to all of you for doing such vital work for not only our community, but the student body. With that being said, we now have to move back into fun business orders. I did forget a motion on the action items. So if I have unanimous consent, we need to go back into item G, action items. It's the simple motion to approve a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership as written. As I said, this is a simple change in the bill. This was brought to Senate Finance Committee on 6/4. All it does is change the position from internal chair to vice chair, which is it'll be consistent with the rest of the committees. So is there a motion to approve this bill as written? Senator Jones.
Motion to approve the bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership as written.
Is there a second? No. Senator Ona.
Second.
There's been a second to motion to approve a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership as written. We are now in discussion. Senator Lucan.
With respect to approving it as it's written, I believe what Senator Malhis was that she needs an amendment in this change to be able, I don't remember the exact train of thought, but I believe if we could, she had requested if we could open and amend it in the meeting. If not, can we at least strike this or not approve the motion, or sorry, not approve the bill as written, so that they can go in and change it, or for example, have an email vote to amend it before it's finally approved, just to make sure that they have whatever straightened out that they needed straightened out.
Senator Zhang.
That is a little bit problematic in the way that, if you guys remember, we appointed our vice chair already through suspending the legal code of financial committee part until the end of summer break. So if we don't pass this bill this meeting, that means all of our appointments for the Senate committee, like for the Finance Committee for the leadership, is going to be invalid, and we need to reappoint everyone with consideration with like everything. So basically, we need to redo everything all over again. So I would not recommend that route.
Thank you, Senator Zhang. If I may speak, I spoke with Senators Zhang and Malhis, as well as former parliamentarian Ming-Zhu Zha last night to discuss this bill. All this bill is doing is simply just changing the name of vice chair to chair. That changes the legal code, and the senators and finance committee will be able to change those numbers at their discretion, and that can be passed at the next Senate meeting. I hope that clarifies some questions or concerns. Senator Malhis.
Yes, thank you so much for Senator Pro Temp or Chair. I don't even know how to address you in this meeting.
It's all good.
Sussman and Jenny, and as well as Noah for bringing this up in the clarification. So yes, we do need this bill to be passed now, because our vice is his term's going to expire, because we did suspend the legal code to appoint him temporarily. However, it has come to my knowledge through the AG and stuff like that, that we can save all of our time by opening it up and amending two things in regards to this bill. We can amend the title to amend Senate Finance Committee legal code, and we can include the adjustments of membership positions, excluding the chief investment officer, ignore that, but just whatever's in the parentheses, 2, and 5, and have that passed right now. And that can save us the time in later discussions.
Senator Malhis, can you send me that exact motion as written, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Can
Senator
you
Patrick.
send me your phone number, or should I just email it to you?
I'll text you Sussman's number right now.
We are still in discussion, so would the second and the first of the author like to rescind their motions? Senator Jones.
I rescind my motion, but I also know that the second needs to be rescinded as well.
Senator Ono.
I will rescind my second, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Senator Pasher.
May I ask a question of what language, how did this come about? Like what from the time that this bill was introduced to now, what has changed just for my own knowledge?
So to give you some clarification, this is for all of you. There was a bill to amend the Senate Finance leadership, or Senate Finance membership. That included the language of vice chair in the actual language itself, which has not been passed. It is currently in legal code despite it not being passed yet, which is just a clerical error. But that bill to amend the Senate Finance Committee membership cannot be passed or recognized by this body until the first bill passes because the changes of vice chair simply don't exist currently, if that makes sense. Even though it's contradictory in legal code, it says it does, it doesn't. So when that bill was brought to the agenda, we had to have a meeting with both of the chairs of this committee to discuss, the fact that the bill was still tabled to Senate Finance Committee, and that we had to bring it out of Senate Finance Committee to vote upon it, so that way these legal changes could be made, so that way they can make those adjustments to their membership. Does that help clarify? I know that's a mouthful and a lot. What else can I help to clarify, senators? Senator Pasher.
Is the clerical error like the you can actually recognize Senator Malhese, that's okay.
Senator Malhese. Senator Malhese, you're recognized.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was unmuted. So I just made the motion language and just texted it to you. I think I just checked. Oh shit! Oh yeah, I texted it to you. But what needs to be done is you can just copy and paste from the membership positions because you have the, I think you have the access to edit the bill and you can just copy and paste because the final motion I listed there is to change it to what it is. So you have to go in and just paste those like parentheses things under the positions.
Okay.
So like,
so we'll need a first and a second for all of these motions.
Correct.
So is there a motion to open a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership? Seeing none, Senator Malhese.
motion to open a bill to standardize Finance Committee leadership.
Is there a second? Senator Ona.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Sarah called a question. Again, Senator Malhese, I do think the simple thing tonight is just to pass this bill and then make those amendments in the numbers later. Again, I'm trying to be as impartial as possible, but I think for clarity and for simplicity, each motion, because we'll have to motion to change each number one by one. We can't motion to change multiple line items at the same time. That's just not how amending works per Robert's rules. You have to motion to strike and then motion to add for every single number.
It'll only be add though, I'm pretty sure. Because we're not striking anything from there.
No, I mean it's not mathematics. With all due respect, you're striking the number and then replacing it with a new one, and it has to go line item by line item for each individual position. That's just our own and R. It's the same thing as replacing a word, essentially. It's just a number. It's the text in legal code that's actually being replaced, not, adding numbers. So again, I do think for clarity's sake and for time's sake, we do have recess in 8 minutes. I think the most simple thing to do is just, again, pass this bill tonight, and then Senate Finance Committee or Senator Malhesi can make a simple bill that will be heard at the next Senate meeting to just change those numbers. So if there's objection to that, I'm Senator Zhang.
Can I get a clarification from you?
Yes, we are still in a motion.
Okay.
There needs to be either a call to question or the authors of the motion need to rescind their motion.
Call to question then.
Call to question. The motion, there's been a call to question. Is there consent?
Consent.
Seeing consent, is there any objection to the consent?
Objection.
Objection? All right. So the procedure now is we would need unanimous consent to withdraw the is that right? It's unanimous consent to withdraw the motion. Holly, is that correct?
No, I think you can do a simple majority for that.
Okay. Senator Pasher.
What point of the motion are we in right now?
There was objection to the call to question. So we would need a
back into discussion and then rescind it. Is that not what AG said? We have to move back. We need unanimous consent to move back into discussion, and then after unanimous consent to rescind the motion.
That's correct. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Pasher, for clarification. Yeah, so do I have unanimous consent to remove or go back into discussion on the item?
Consent.
We are now back in discussion. Is there any further discussion on this item? Senator Zhang.
Okay. So from what I was understanding from the full thing with we need to strike every single thing in order to amend the bill means every single number that we add for the membership bill, we need to do the whole motion and call to question and pass and thing, every single one of them?
Correct. For every single number.
Okay.
There's only. Oh, can I? Oh.
No, Senator Malhesi, you're not recognized. Sorry. Senator Ono.
I'd like to just ask for a point of clarification. If I rescind my second, then can we kind of back our way out of this?
Yes, if you rescind your motion, then the motion effectively dies should no other person second it. So
Okay, in that case, then I would like to rescind my motion.
okay, the motion has been rescinded, or the second has been rescinded. Is there another second on this motion? Seeing none, the motion dies. Again, senators, for time's sake and for respect for you, I really do think the proper avenue is to simply just pass this bill tonight, and then when necessary, Senator Malhesi, you can bring forth a bill to just make those small changes in legal code. Senator Malhesi, you are recognized.
I say the contrary. This is actually faster. I'm already sending you the motion language. If we're all just cooperating, we don't need to revisit this at a time where later our agenda is going to be more packed. It's going to be faster if we get it done during a summer meeting, like right now.
Senator Malhesi, with all due respect, my opinion stands. I'm trying to be as impartial as possible for the sake of the Senate. Is there another motion, Senator Pasher?
I would just like to make a comment, if that's all right.
Sure, Senator Pasher.
I believe if this is an urgent matter, an email vote would be sufficient, and also, like last case scenario, we can go back into a previous Senate meeting's agenda and amend what needs to be amended. But I understand your time constraint, Senator Malhesi, but it doesn't seem like going over this for the fourth time is going to change the outcome of the motion or what's happening on the Senate floor right now.
Thank you, Senator Pasher. Before we recess in 3 minutes, again, I would highly recommend a motion to pass this bill. Senator Zhang.
Motion to pass a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership.
Wonderful. There's been a motion to pass a bill to standardize Senate Finance Committee leadership.
As written.
As written. Is there a second? Senator Jones. The motion's been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there consent? After hearing consent, is there any objections to that consent?
Objection.
Senator Malhis, for respect for the other senators, the objection is it's out of order. Essentially, it's it's rude to the other senators. What we're trying to do is help Senate Finance Committee pass this bill so that way you can get the outcome in a faster time. But your objection is heard.
This will not help. I mean, it will somewhat help Finance Committee, but in the agenda, next Senate meeting, we're gonna have another bill on Finance Committee legal code. What's the point of having to freaking reopen the same exact piece of legislation? Why do we need to do that?
Senator Malhis, we spoke about this for nearly an hour last evening. The proper procedural way to do this is to accept this bill, and then it becomes codified in legal code, and then you make those small changes. So if you'd like to rescind your objection, we can pass this bill and we can get you moved on, and we can move the Senate into recess, which is in 1 minute. Senator Zhang.
I just have a comment.
We are not in discussion. We still have an
Okay.
objection. We still have an objection. So Senator Malhis, this is up to you what you would like to do with your objection.
No, can we move into a hand vote? That's
We
why I
now-
objected.
We are now moving in a hand vote to on the motion to pass a bill to standardize the Senate Finance Committee leadership as written. For all of those in favor, please raise your hand for an aye vote. We have 2 ayes. For all of those who are opposed, or please raise your hand for nay. We have 1 nay. All those in abstention, please raise your hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abstentions. 7 abstentions. Holly, please confirm with me, but this is 50% plus 1. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so. Hold on a second. Yes, the 7 would be 50% plus 1. That is correct.
So this motion passes. Holly, please confirm.
Yes.
Yes, Senator Lucan.
What is quorum? How many is quorum?
Quorum is right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. My apologies. Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 senators. So quorum is 50 or 7.
Point of
7.
information.
Yes, Senator Lucan.
How do votes work when someone doesn't vote? Does it get recounted as an abstention, or is it just not included in the vote total?
All senators do have to vote either as yes, no, or abstention. Abstention is essentially not voting.
Okay, because you just said we have 14 and we have 10 votes.
Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Guys, this is why I'm a political science major, not a math major. Yeah, there's 14, excluding myself. Senator Wahidullah. See your hand raised.
Oh, I apologize. I thought I was down. Sorry.
No worries. Senator Wang. Okay.
Sorry, I also thought I was down.
We would need a motion to recalculate the vote. Yeah, Holly.
Yeah, choosing to recalculate it, I think, is totally fine. I just wanted to confirm for everyone when we were counting the hands up, that's a yes vote. So we had 7 of those, and then maybe we mark something different as abstention. So
Let's recalculate the vote. So let's, yeah, Senator Jones.
Thank you, Chair. Last meeting, to make it easier for counting, we did check marks for a yes vote, the X's for a no vote, and then hands raised for abstentions. I don't know if that would help in this moment with the counting. I know I was having trouble with it last week.
That would be greatly, greatly helpful. So for all yes votes, thank you, Senator Jones. I really appreciate it. For all yes votes, please put a check mark on your screen. Or I votes. Senator Jones.
Do we still need to make that motion to enter a recount?
Oh, yes, we do. Thank you. Senator Ono, you can put your check mark down. We are now in motion for a recount of the vote. Is such a motion present?
I'd like to motion for a recount of the vote.
Thank you, Senator Ono. There's been a motion to enter a recount of the previous vote. Is there a second? Senator Jones.
Thanks.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Wahila.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there any, is there consent?
Consent.
Is there,
No.
all right. Is there any objection to the consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. We are now in call for a recount of the vote. For all ayes, yes votes, please put a check mark on your screen. We have 2 ayes. For all noes, please put X's on your screen. We have 1 no. For all those abstained, please put another, what was the hand up? Wonderful, thank you. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 abstentions.
okay,
Wonderful.
counting 8 abstentions, 2 yeses, and 1 no.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm also seeing 2 senators that haven't voted.
Senators, Senator Rajan, that's an abstention.
Senator Manikova, I think we're missing your vote if you want to go ahead and cast. I mean, either way, 2 to 1, that's still 50% plus 1. So my advice would be that the motion passes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Holly. So this motion passes. Again, to everyone, this is to help and proceed in the proper way in the future. So I will now adjourn for a recess for 15 minutes. So please return, or we're now in item H recess. So please return to your screens at 9:23 p.m. Thank you, guys. All right, everybody, welcome back. We are now back from recess. Good to see you all. Or Senator Than, good to see you. All right, guys, we are now leaving recess, and are now in.
Evan, you are muted, just to make sure you know that.
I am?
Nah, I can hear him.
Heard everything.
You guys can't hear me.
Oh, never mind, that was me. That's my bad.
Okay, well, good to see you all. Thanks for coming back on time. We are now in item K, minutes and allocations. Is there a motion to approve the minutes and allocations? Senator Pasher.
Not to be annoying, I just need a point of order. Cute cat, by the way. If there is a minutes that I have contentions with, what's to be done? If I've reviewed the minutes and there's minutes that are inaccurate or have something procedurally incorrect, what do I do?
In my opinion, I think the proper thing to do would be motion to approve the minutes and allocations with the exemption of the minutes that you have contention with. Holly, if you want to give input, I think that would be a proper motion, but let me know.
Yeah, so you'll either have the option after that point to either table the minutes and ask the entity to revise them and resubmit them, or if you want to motion to open them, you can do that, but that would take more time because you'll have to go through each motion in the minutes, motion by motion. Kind of like if you all have opened finance committee minutes this term and you like go through motion by motion and then you motion for correction, all that. So depending on how much time you want to spend on it, I would either recommend that you table the minutes with the issue and ask the BC to correct them and resubmit them. Or if it's urgent, you can go through all of the motions and make motions to amend the issues.
Wonderful. Thank you. My recommendation would be to do those two motions. Senator Pasher.
Honestly, it's just a slight procedural error, so I'm okay with just approving it.
Okay.
It's not significant enough and it's not binding, so it's okay.
Wonderful. Then, would you like to approve all minutes and allocations? I didn't hear it on my end, but I trust that it went
Oh,
through.
my bad. I motion to approve all minutes and allocations. I think I muted.
No worries. There's been a motion to approve all minutes and allocations. Is there a second? Senator Zhang.
Second.
The motion to approve all minutes and allocations has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion.
Auto question.
The question has been called.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you cannot call your own question. Senator Than.
Call the question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. All right, we are now in item M, appointments and resignations. But beforehand, I know things get contentious in here, debating rules all the time. So just as a preface, what I'm trying to do as chair tonight is try to follow rules and procedures as much as possible. We have bylaws and standing rules, and they have to be followed. In previous years, they haven't been, and I know it's frustrating at times, but I'm trying my best to simply just follow all rules and procedures that our association has. So again, I understand the frustration. Things get heated in here in Senate. That's what we signed up to do. But moving forward, just I hope you guys can keep that in mind. So now going forward into appointments and resignations for the office of the internal vice president, we're gonna have to do these separately. So for the office of the internal vice president, I would welcome a motion. Sorry, I have to approve Senator Manakova in here. I would welcome a motion to approve the resignation of Tyler Ho as the internal affairs coordinator. Senator Ona.
Yeah, I'd like to call for a motion to approve the resignation of Tyler Ho as internal affairs coordinator.
Wonderful. Thank you. There's been a motion to approve the resignation of Tyler Ho as Internal Affairs Coordinator by Senator Ono. Is there a second? Senator Pasher.
I second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Jones.
Call the question.
Question has been called. We are now in, is there consent? My apologies.
Consent.
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. Senator Lucan.
Why do we have to do these separate? I'm a little confused.
Procedurally, internal vice. Let me share my screen. My apologies. Am I sharing my
Yeah,
screen?
it's shared. It's shared.
Beautiful. Essentially, we have to resign Tyler Ho as the Internal Affairs Coordinator and then reappoint him as a different position. It was a simple procedural error during the appointment, so we can't appoint him to another position while he's currently at another position. So it's
Sure.
now we can approve both Tyler Ho as a student fee advisory commissioner and Valentina Huynh as internal affairs coordinator, or if you want to bundle and approve the internal office of the internal vice president, you're more than welcome to. Senator Noah Lugan.
Or in theory, we could bundle and approve everything now, no?
No, we have several appointments and resignations that we do need to go one by one.
Okay.
So we'll bundle and approve all outstanding appointments and resignations once we get through those.
I see.
Senator Pasher.
Can we not bundle and approve all resignations first and then bundle and approve all? Is that what you just said, Senator Lucan? Can we do the resignations first and then everyone will be resigned technically and then appoint subsequently?
There
I like
are
that.
in theory, I also like that, but there are a couple, specifically honoraria committee, that we would need to do. It would take just 2 more seconds. I know internal vice president Lala wanted to do it separately, but that's up to the Senate vote as to what you guys would prefer. Senator Jones.
I would also, if you're able to take a look at the agenda, look at the comments that our IVP left, because it might help clear up as to why we have to do them separately. That's it.
Senator Pasher.
Unless I'm not looking at it correctly, viewers cannot see comments.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's correct.
Sorry, guys. Can you see if you look on my screen, you should be able to see IVP Lala's comments as to why we should approve them separately, specifically for honoraria committee. Senator Jones.
I would probably recommend zooming in.
Oh, sorry, guys. Comes full circle, doesn't it? Senator Pasher.
I think it's okay. I don't need to read it if you feel as if that's the procedurally correct thing to do as chair. That's at your discretion, and I'll follow suit.
On the side of caution, I'd prefer if we did do the resignations individually, and then we can bundle and approve all outstanding with the exception of Judicial Council. So with that being said, can I have a motion? Can I have a motion to approve all outstanding appointments in the internal vice president's office? Senator Pasher.
Motion to approve all outstanding appointments in the office of the internal vice president's office.
It's fine. Thank you, Senator Pasher. There's been a motion to approve all outstanding appointments in the office of the internal vice president. Is there a second? Senator Lucan.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Fan.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, this motion passes. I would like to now go to honoraria committee. Do I have a motion to approve the resignation of Noah Lucan as voting member? Senator Pasher.
I'd like to bundle and approve all resignations of honorary committee.
Sounds good to me. There's been a motion to bundle and approve all resignations of honorary committee. Is there a second? Senator Than.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded to bundle and approve all resignations of honorary committee. We are now in discussion. Senator Zhang.
Call to question.
The question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objection to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. I would also recommend a motion to bundle and approve all appointments. Senator Pasher.
All appointments, period?
No, for
No.
honorary committee, my
Okay.
apologies.
I'd like to motion to bundle and approve all appointments to the honorary committee.
Wonderful. There's been a motion to bundle and approve all appointments to the honoraria committee. Sorry. Let me double check this. Okay, that looks good to me. There's been a motion to bundle and approve all appointments for the honoraria committee. Is there a second? Senator Than.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in debate or discussion. My apologies. Is there a call to question? Actually, Senator Than, may
Oh,
you
conflict of interest.
conflict of interest?
Yeah, I rescind my second.
Thank you, Senator Than. Is there a second on the previous motion? Senator Gutierrez.
Second.
There's the motion to bundle and approve all appointments for honorary committee has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Wang,
Call to question.
the question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objections to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. We just for reference, Trans and Queer Commission will be appointed tonight for you guys. Just so once they are approved, this whole situation will be resolved. The only other motion that I would like that's a little bit more specific is a motion to bundle and approve all appointments with the exemption of Judicial Council. Senator Pasher.
Motion to bundle and approve all appointments with the exception of Judicial Council.
There's been a motion to bundle and approve all appointments with the exception of Judicial Council. Is there a second? Senator Zhang.
Second.
A motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Senator Than.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there consent?
Consent.
Is there any objections to that consent? Seeing none, the motion passes. At this point, I think the proper thing to do is to go into a closed session where Senate Liaison can give us reports about their findings on the Judicial Council members. And since this is being streamed live online, I think the better explanation is to go into a closed session so that way we can discuss about students privately without any of their interests or their reputations being discussed publicly. So that is why we are going into a closed session. So do I have a motion to go into closed session? Senator Pasher.
All right, a motion to enter closed session at 9:37 p.m.
Is there a second? Senator Lucan?
Second.
A motion to enter a closed session has been moved and second. We are now